Hey guys, usually I'd be starting the stream already by now. I don't usually leave the intro going this long, but I usually wait for Phil to like fucking turn up first before properly starting. The lazy bastard's probably still in his fucking bed because he's trying to start. As I'm speaking, he's in his chat. Literally, as I'm speaking, he just turned up in his fucking chat and said good morning, everyone. I guess we'll be starting soon, but Phil finally woke the fuck up. Guarantee he fucking complains about being like an hour earlier than usual. I guarantee it. With Phil stumbling drunkenly out of his bed, preparing in his head all the things he's wanting to be said. 19 minutes of Phil to Phil, with so much time to kill. He promised chill, but all he does instead is beg and shell. The streams online and straight away begins to whine, but all is fine as long as Shad's benign and doesn't step out of line. His content's immature for all to endure like fresh manure, but I feel sure he ran should have feeling so insecure. The money he earned on yesterday was withdrawn and long gone, as Phil spending impulse is always had to stay on. If supports are also slow and stays so low and fails to grow, you never know, the show may turn into an easy bingo. Once kicked off across the board with charge to what because his code can be ignored, just how much DSP makes us feel so bored. To help us fight or sleep and try to keep alert to watch a creep who play bingo, but Phil will bitch and why his sheep are also cheap. While DSP is chasing green, we're seeing green across the screen as Phil's routine predictability rivals a slow machine. He's snorting, burping, leaning, ban. It matters not if battery fun, his child can't see it hours, making feel less of a man. Takes a drink and starts his like before launching into a bike, pretending they're from bills when truth is there to buy a wrestling JPEG. Talks about his shitty life of college cat and fatty wife and all his strife while forgetting that it's unwell and they were rife. With drama he will react but isn't act, that is a fact as he rehearsed to be exact in how he felt he was attacked. She's nearly over it and a win is in sight, with what to white despite Phil to light that tips were not light. We'll say alright it is okay and now it's time for Phil to play, but first he'll say that tips will help from being off the other day. And with those words we win again, it's never if but always when the game is won. Thanks to that we made it to the very end. Hey guys, King Jad here, and welcome to DSP Bingo for what is today, Thursday, Wednesday? It is Thursday. I was thrown off because Phil fucking changed his schedule. Today is Thursday the 29th of February 2024, the final day of February, and it's a very rare final day of course of February because we only get these once every 4 years, the leap year, the 29th of fucking February, so there we go. I hope you're all doing very well, indeed hope you're all enjoying yourself. If you're watching live, of course, Phil started the whole hour earlier than usual for reasons unexplained. He did not elaborate as to why he had to begin an hour earlier than he was initially planning to. He might elaborate more today, but I doubt it. I guess he wants to try and keep that reason very close to his chest and maybe not ever disclose it. Who knows? He was teasing some internet issues last night. The good old Twitter, he was talking about how, you know, his Twitter was out and all that shit, and like it went down for him and he was hoping to be back up in the morning. Jesus Christ. Yeah, here it is here. No, it's not that one. Hold on. Was it this one? Yeah, this one here. As Poem Future says, always drama baiting. So just as we're heading to bed, both lines of our internet went out and haven't yet come back. Here's hoping this is just a Comcast business outage and is temporary, as I can't stream Final Fantasy VII Rebirth tomorrow. That is going to be a huge problem. So my thinking is that Phil is just kind of hoping for some, you know, last minute, you know, support, pity drama support. That's my take. There doesn't seem to be any issues whatsoever, you know, if there was. I mean, it's the briefest of fucking thing. This is literally in the middle of the night for DSP, who's about to turn into bed. You know, sleep. He's like literally 8 hours ago, like 9 hours ago, he made that tweet. So that's what, 12 AM, 1 AM Phil's time, I think. It would have been after midnight anyway, where businesses usually don't operate at that time. So his business internet going down briefly at that point in time was not an issue. You'd think, anyway. Of course, he had to tweet about it, make a big song and dance for it, and he'll probably mention it today as well in some capacity. So we've got that to look forward to. But yeah, me thinks it's just some sort of ploy just to beg profusely. Anyway, Phil finally did turn up. Of course, you know what I mean, he's in a stream, he's blathering away. I was sent a video by Prophet, and he's told me I'm playing this today on Bingo. I have not seen it yet, but it's called The Crazy Scotsman and His Iron Brew. I have not seen this yet. I held off so we could watch it on stream together. Let's see what Prophet sent me, and let's just see how offensive it is. Oh, hold on, it's muted 2 seconds. I thought it was a short because, you know, it looked like a short on the aspect ratio, but it's a 3-minute video. So, yeah, let's see what this is all about. The Crazy Scotsman and His Iron Brew.
Heck, you think they do any iron brew in there?
Why would you ask me if they do iron brew?
Because what would the Crazy Scotsman do if they didn't have any iron brew? Crazy Scotsman.
Right, no iron brew! Let's have a look inside this fridge here, mate! There's no iron brew, brother! How the hell have you not got the iron brew, lads? No iron brew! Are you crazy? I swear to God, I'm go crazy! I'm go crazy! How's the no iron brew? How you got no iron brew, lads? No iron brew! I know you're cucumber, and I don't care about that! I don't care! No iron brew! That's all I'm there! I'm out of your life!
Remember when Freddo's used to be 10 pence?
Yeah, I know, bro.
25 pence now. What did the crazy Scotsman think about it?
Right, you wee bastard! Fredo! How can you charge 25 pence for that crap? Have you grown now? Do you have a mortgage and 2 kids? You shite man! What the hell are you looking at? You bastard! Who's that right? I'm gonna find you! I swear to God, I'll bang your face, man! I'll bang your face, man! You bastard! Who's seen Iron Brew? Have you seen Iron Brew? Have you seen Iron Brew? Have you seen the Iron Brew, laddie?
Oh, did you lose? How would the crazy Scotsman feel about it? Crazy Scotsman.
How can you make that bold, you fucking shite, man? I just lost all my money. Can you believe that? I'm not having that. I'm not having that. What are you looking at, brother? What are you looking at, brother? I'm not having that, lads. I need to worry about now. I need to worry about now, lads.
Yeah, hack. Have you seen all that iron brew? Save 70 pence on iron brew.
70 pence off Iron Brew? Are you crazy, guys? I'm taking all of that. I'm going to take all this shit, you wee bastard. 70 pence off Iron. I'm going to take it all this shit. I take it all, brother. It's all mine. All of this is mine. All of this is mine. Iron Brew. Iron Brew. Iron Brew. Let's go, lads. All right, lads. 70 pence off Iron Brew. You guys better buy yourself some now. All right, lads. Iron Brew. Iron Brew.
Thanks, darling. Have a nice one, yeah? Take care. Make sure you get your roots sorted out. They're a bit dark.
Final thought.
Listen, you wee bastards. Life's too short to be messing around. You need to live your life. Enjoy your time here on planet Earth. Don't care about people and what they think. But make sure you do something for me, lads. Make sure you like, subscribe, and you share, okay? Wait there, pal. Friends, don't be worried about that. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Take care, lads, alright?
I mean, that's just basically the average kind of shopping experience when you're in Scotland. I don't see anything out of the ordinary there when I was watching that. That's just how it is in Scotland. Yeah. Mind you, the Iron Brew was a lot better before they changed the recipe. You know, before they changed the recipe, I would understand taking every single wine from the shelf, but ever since they changed that recipe, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. But yeah, interesting little video. I was not expecting it to be as robust as that and quite as filled as that. You know, I thought it was just a bit wee short. But yeah, that was 3 long minutes. That was 3 very long minutes. Thank you very much, Prophet, for sending that robust little video through. Oh goodness me, is Phil still alive? Has he fucking gone to his bathroom break yet? Yeah, who fucking knows? What I was thinking of, like, Anne uploaded, so Anne1337 uploaded a bunch of re-uploads of Purely Cooking with the King. And I thought, well, I guess we can kill some time while we're waiting for Phil to go live. We can watch the very first episode. This was the very first episode of Phil making food for his audience.
What's up, everyone? It's DSP, and this is an unprecedented moment. I'm actually doing something that some people have asked for, probably just joking around, but I find myself doing it. It is the morning of the release of the Mass Effect 2 DLC, The Shadow Broker, as well as the new game Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. So
observe the difference between the times on the clocks. On the clock on the cooker and the clock on the microwave has a 5-minute difference. This is something that stays true for every single time you see these Purely Cooking videos. I don't think it's ever explained why there's a 5-minute difference between the 2 clocks, but it's there.
In turbo mode, because if you can see over there on my TV, the DLC for Mass Effect 2 is downloading. It just became available at 7 a.m. On the East Coast of the United States. I'm downloading it and I am fucking starving. I was up all night playing a couple other games.
He's not slept at this point in time yet, it seems like. He was up all night playing fucking video games. He's probably drunk right now. And he's woken up, no, he's up at 7 AM still. He's still awake at 7 AM this time because he's not slept yet. The only reason he's up that early is because he's not even going to sleep yet, because he's up all night drinking and playing games. And then he's like, fucking, oh, I've got the munchies, I got the hunger striking as I'm downloading this fucking thing. So I'm going to make a video while I'm waiting for this thing to download.
And I am starving, so I got everything going here. What am I going to do? I'm going to whip up a couple of express mode bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches, which include 6 pieces of white bread, bacon, obviously, this is hardwood smoked bacon, eggs, these are jumbo sized white eggs, 2 frying pans. I have them both on the stove right now at just above medium strength temperature. Obviously you must put on your fan on the top of your stove whenever you're frying anything. Don't turn that off, because I learned the hard way. As soon as I moved in here, all the alarms went off, all the fire alarms, and it wasn't too pretty. So what am I gonna do? We're talking 1 jumbo egg, a couple slices of bacon per sandwich, obviously 2 pieces of bread, duh, and you know, American cheese, which I've also prepared. First thing you want to do, either butter your pans or spray them down. I don't have time to melt fucking butter. I'm in a hurry.
I don't have time to melt fucking butter. He's a fucking gamer. He's fucking doing this in this is a speed run. He's doing a fucking speed run of fucking making bacon sandwiches. He has no time to melt butter. Oh my god. Phil's going live right now. I mean, it's so tempting just to watch this and just fucking laugh and cringe. It's almost 20 minutes long and Phil's going live now. And what I'm going to do is link you the video. You guys can watch it at your own pleasure. Maybe we can come back to this if we want to, you know, get a little break from Phil. We can have Otters as well. Otters on standby as well, of course. But we can also have us in standby if we want to just enjoy Phil cooking something purely as well. While we just, so you know, a wee little break from Phil and his boring ass fucking shenanigans. Anyway, I am taking a little bit of a gamble for Centre Square today. I thought if Phil even mentions politics in any capacity, talks about politics, brings up politics in any way, I feel that is a good Centre Square to have, because he has been mentioning it quite a bit lately, you know, so I feel like it's a good gamble. I need a number though. Can somebody please give me a random number so we can use that for today's bingo card? First number in chat I see will be what I use for today's game. So F Pune was first one I saw in chat, who says 672. That's not a very good number. That's a very shitty number in my opinion, but it's not your fault. This is the bingo card we have for today's game. We need Phil to say business. Detractors or trolls voted him doing some Q&A and him saying it literally. The second row is Phil doing hand graphs, saying behind the scenes, him giving the prayer hands, him messing about his phone, and him being toxic. Hand graphs are where he's demonstrating something going up or down in numerical value using his hands. Prayer hands is obvious, you know, where he's holding his hands up in prayer to the fucking camera, usually to thank somebody for giving him a bunch of fucking money, or he's fucking putting his prayer hands up saying please give me money. Phone stuff, anytime phone, or you can see him clearly messing with it off screen, so that's phone stuff. And of course Phil being toxic is Phil being toxic. The third row is Phil saying what the fuck are you talking about, although what are you talking about is also acceptable. Him saying variety, him mentioning politics in any capacity, him doing a Y or a T pose, and him saying by the way. The fourth row is Phil saying interesting, unique, him saying Twitter or X, him getting at least $30+ in tips, and him touching his eye. And the fifth and final row is Phil touching his ear, him slapping the leg, him talking about drama, him saying absolutely, and finally support. This is a strong looking card in my opinion, so hopefully we can start off on a high. Phil's working week can hopefully begin on a very positive note, and hopefully we can get a full house bingo for today. Of course the aim of the game, as you guys all very well know, is to try and get a full house 25 out of 25 with a bingo card you see before you. And if we do that, one of you guys can potentially win a prize, but only if you've left a comment in a community post which is linked in the description of this live stream. If you haven't left a comment there, then you're not going to be a chance of winning a prize. By the way, that community post will change tomorrow onwards. So yeah, I mean, if people are leaving a comment now, you'll have to leave a new one tomorrow onwards. It sounds dumb, I know, but I'm making a brand new fucking post. You know, there's a new post getting made from the 1st of March onwards. So yeah, I feel, but it feels like I'm deceiving people. Like if somebody fucking just makes a comment today, and then the very next day it's like, oh yeah, that comment's fucking useless now because that was the old fucking thing. So I just thought I'd point that out just because I was like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, guys, we're trying to get a full house. Long story short. And of course, there's a variety of ways for us to try and get free spaces to help us on our way to a full house. For example, if Phil snorts 25 times or burps 10 times before he starts recording for gameplay for YouTube, that will give us all a free space as well. And if you guys like the stream 100 likes, not only will that give us a free space as well, but you guys also get to enjoy the Bubbles animation that the excellently talented Pixar Animations so very kindly made for us all to enjoy to celebrate 100 likes. So, I think I've covered all the bases. I think we're ready to just kind of get on with the show and rock and roll. Before we get on with it, of course, I'm going to press a random Scottish soundboard button to send us off into battle.
This is the fucking Shawshank Redemption, right? But with more tunneling through shit and no fucking redemption.
It's a pretty accurate description of what the average DSP Bingo stream is like. Good luck, everybody. Here we fucking go. I mean, is it going to be surely it's going to have a short intro. Surely it's going to be a short intro. It'd be bizarre if it wasn't. But here we fucking go.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to an extended streaming week featuring an incredibly hype new release. That is right. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is the premiere of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the game we've all been waiting for. But in addition, we've got tons of stuff to talk about on today's podcast, including a bunch of game news that happened during my day off, and of course, my fabled fan favorite Phil's Day Off segment. All this and more on today's show. See you in a sec.
And of course, we can mute a shitey little, other intro because who fucking cares. Nothing to tick off on the board so far, but, it's still early days yet, so fingers crossed. Here we go.
Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to a new month, even though it's not. Technically, it should be. Technically, this morning should be March 1st, but we have a special thing that we like to call leap year, that every 4 years we have an extra day in February, and that's what today is, February 29th, 2024. However, I've jumped the gun with the new setup. As you can see, this will be our new background for the month of March. I don't think I've ever done this combination before, so there you go. And I welcome you here to the show, and I welcome you to 7 straight days of streaming. That is right. While last week I had a shorter week, this week, to make up for the launch of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and to have enough time to play it all day today, plus this week, I'm doing 7 straight days. Holy moly. That's cool, right? Of course. Undoubtedly, as I expected, this morning as I begin the show, we have way less attendees. We only have 165 people sitting here on the podcast.
I mean, that's your own fault, Phil. You decided to fucking start the stream earlier than usual, and you still haven't explained to your audience why.
You might say, wait a minute. It's a hype new release. Why would only 165 people be sitting around there for the show? Because we're starting an hour early. I announced this back on Tuesday. I said, hey guys, FYI, because of some personal stuff going on, I have to do my stream an hour earlier on Thursday.
And that is literally the most detail I've got so far. He never even alluded to as to why it was starting early before. But now he's explained its personal stuff, and I guess that's as best as an explanation we're going to get from that.
So if you want to be there for the show, if you don't want to miss out on all the hot topics and everything we'll talk about on the Return podcast as we do every week, be there an hour earlier. And only about a third of my audience listen.
Or maybe a third of your audience are fucking busy with their real fucking lives to fucking make time for you. Like, you're literally talking about doing it a whole hour earlier. And it's like out of the fucking blue. For somebody that prides himself in fucking being like, oh, I'm sticking to a schedule. My fans will always know when I'll be there because I'm always posting a schedule and everything else. And I'm always the same time every day, every six days a week, every fucking day. He's always so proud of doing things consistently. And when he fucking goes against that consistency, he then, instead of fucking owns up to and take responsibility for changing it himself, he's mocking his audience for not listening. I need to hear that again. He actually is blaming his audience for not listening to him.
Want to be there for the show. If you don't want to miss out on all the hot topics and everything we'll talk about on the Return podcast as we do every week, be there an hour earlier. And only about a third of my audience listen. This is not surprising. Whenever change happens, right, it's really hard to get people to adjust to a change, especially when you're someone like me who has a set schedule where every day like clockwork, I'm usually here every single day so that people know what to depend on, right? I know that if I show up to Phil's stream at such and such a time, he'll be in the midst of gameplay or whatever, right? And so, I'm not shocked to see that we have a smaller audience. However, as you know with the show, it lasts about an hour and a half, and so by the time that we're done with the podcast, likely we'll have people who are filing in for either the early gameplay or the podcast itself and be like, wait, the podcast is over, so hopefully we'll have a better audience here to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth together, okay? So, speaking of which, yes, as you can see, today is the launch day of a huge game, pretty much the biggest release of the year so far, correct? I mean, I don't think there's been a single game that's come out in 2024 with as much hype behind it as Rebirth. I got my border up for Final Fantasy. I got my Cloud Strife wig ready to go. That's right.
Is he going to put it on and demonstrate it?
I'm not kidding you. Someone purchased me a supposed Cloud Strife cosplay wig for this event. This is how it came. This is actually it. Yeah, this. That's the Cloud Strife wig. It didn't come in any other box. It didn't come in another bag. It literally showed up on my doorstep, just sitting there like this, in this bag. Would you like to see it?
Oh my god. Is he going to put it on? Thumbnail pause button it already. He's putting it on with $100 in tips, guys. The benevolence.
Wow, it looks just like him. I mean, I don't think you could be any closer to the real Cloud Strife.
Wait, put it on. Is he not putting it on? Is he not putting it on?
Anyway, by the way, it came with this. I think this is a hairnet. I think if you have, like, messed up hair, like...
Is he not going to put the goddamn thing on and show the chat what it's like? Well, somebody's set him this for free at the goodness of their fucking hearts, I guess, or whatever. And Phil, again, is shitting all over it, thinking that it looks exactly like it. Apparently doesn't put it on. I'm just trying to think, what would be the best? What would be the best particular frame?
Wow, it looks just like him. I mean, I don't think you could be any closer to the real Cloud Strife.
Hold on. I'm trying to think of the best frame. See, I wanted him like looking dead ahead at the camera while holding up.
Anyway.
But he's like very rarely doing that. He's mainly just either looking at the fucking mic or looking at himself in the monitor.
It looks just like him. I mean, I don't think you could be any closer to the real Cloud Strife.
Hold on a second, we might have it here. Yeah, very briefly. I guess it's like, what the hell, I don't know. Is this thumbnail material him holding up a random wig? It's a weird thing. Like, I don't think, I put it this way, I don't think Tacozilla would be able to make much of this, you know? Or Mista, like, I don't think they could be able to make much of what Phil is doing here. Like, what creativity could they do with Phil holding this up? I don't know. By all means, I'm going to just like, I'm going to crop it in. I'll take a little screenshot of it, you know, I'll see what they can do, but it's bizarre, put it that way, it's definitely bizarre. Speaking of bizarre and all that jazz, yeah, also, the stream itself today, also, we started an hour early because Phil started an hour early. That being said, our live tonight in 2 hours' time, and I am hoping to be finished by then. And I will live redirect the viewers to that being said when we're done with the bingo. So there we go. And I'll just yeet that towards my members in the Discord and they can have fun with that. Doing whatever they desire. And there we go. Let's just crack on with the bingo and I'll have Phil continue to fucking not appreciate the present that somebody gave him in the goodness of the heart.
Right. Anyway, by the way, it came with this. I think this is a hairnet. I think if you have like messed up hair, like weird hair, you put on the hairnet, so it doesn't interfere with the wig or something like that. So you might say, what? Yeah, a fan was like, oh, would you like if I sent you a Cloud Strife wig to put on for like the premiere Final Fantasy VII? Would you like that? And I said, I don't see why not. I've worn other wigs. It might be something funny, right? And basically, this is what shows up. This thing. So if we do hit the hat goal today.
It is. He's not going to demonstrate what it's like, but he's fucking saying, hey guys, want me to wear this fucking ridiculous thing? Money, bitches.
Of tips, I'll put it on. Actually, I think what we should do, since this is so ridiculous, I think we should actually have this be the bigger goal today. I think we should do...
Oh my god. Oh my god. I never imagined... Oh my god. He's actually swapping it. He's going to make a vest be $100. Oh my god. Oh. The disgusting greed of this boy. Holy shit. He's gonna charge his audience $150 fucking dollars something to put on a fucking wig that he fucking mocked and belittled and think this doesn't look at. Oh my god. If there is justice in the world, you'll fucking receive fuck all.
Do glasses, vest first, and then this is the highest level tier tip, I think. That's what I think anyway. I mean, you guys could disagree, but this looks so bad. I can't believe they actually made and sold this thing as like a cosplayer's official wig. It looks terrible. Like, I mean, and I have a Ken Masters wig, you know, from my Ken outfit, and this just looks significantly worse in quality to me. Dude, this looks like half of like Rod Stewart's hair, or like David Bowie in Labyrinth, right? That's what this reminds me of. It looks nothing whatsoever like Cloud Stripe. You could tell that this is probably like $20, right? This is probably like a $20 wig. This isn't any high-end cosplay wig or anything like that, right?
Holy Phil, you got it for fucking free. And you're mocking. Oh my god, imagine gifting something to somebody you like, and this is their reaction to it. Oh, you only spent $20 on me. Fucking peasant. I'm gonna charge my audience $150 fucking dollars for me putting a $20 fucking wig that was donated to me. What a disgusting piece of shit.
Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna happen, I guess, if we do hit a support level later today. Burger. At first I was kind of hyped for it until it actually showed up and I saw.
Oh my god, what's up?
Thank you very much to Profit for a super chat who says Ket just shaved her snatch and glued it together. That's a vile mental image. Thank you though. And what Phil just said there, I mean, we're getting more details from Phil as to how much he was disappointed in this fucking gift from a fan. Imagine what expectations did he fucking have? Like, he must have had amazingly high expectations as to what his fan was giving him. Like, he just like, can you imagine a random denhead just thinking to himself, hey, Phil's going to play this soon. Maybe Phil would like this kind of, you know, this kind of wig that kind of goes with the game. Why not? And thinking to yourself, I'm going to give something to Phil so he can have some fun, maybe, you know. And Phil was just sitting here mocking the crap out of it because it's like, oh, it doesn't look expensive. It's only $20, and now he's going to say something like this.
A support level later today. At first I was kind of hyped for it until it actually showed up and I saw it, and I was like, it's nice of the person to say, hey, I want to do something nice for your premiere stream. At the same time, I mean, sadly, this is just a pure example of the kind of crap that you will get off of Amazon. It's hilarious because all the cosplay wigs on Amazon look amazing in the preview pictures. They look exactly like Cloud's hair, and that's what you get in the mail. It's like, what the fuck? Anyway, so
you know, I'm not an expert on things like cosplay and all that, but aren't you meant to try and like stylize it yourself? Like, you buy it, but it then fucking is up to you to try and make it look better. Like, the wig is like a template. The wig is not come in its final fucking form. You got to fucking manipulate it to, you know, the way you want it. But he's expecting, oh, he just kind of thought, oh, I can just take out the bag and plop up my fucking head.
that's in play today. So, let us talk about today. Yes, I'm playing Final Fantasy VII all day today. All right, once this podcast ends, roughly around noonish, we're going to jump right in for about 3 hours of gameplay. Yes, this stream is ending an hour early. But then tonight, I'm coming back 6:45 p.m. Pacific time for about another 2 to 2.5 hours of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So by the time we're done with today, we'll have around 5.5 hours of gameplay. From what I understand, the game has an intro segment that lasts about 3 hours, so that's probably what we'll be doing on this very first stream. And then tonight, we'll be jumping further in. Now, for the record, no, I did not play the demo on purpose. I knew that I was going to be playing this game this month. I knew that I was going to be super hyped for it. I didn't want to spoil by playing it a few weeks early, especially because I was making a big push to get as far as I could in the current playthroughs before this game came out. It wouldn't have made sense to play the demo when I'm already playing the game and I already am behind on everything else I'm trying to get through, right? So we will be doing the demo, we'll be doing the initial intro today. I'm sure part of that is probably the demo, but since I'm doing a double stream of the game, likely we will get past that and into other gameplay as well by the end of today. Now, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will be the major stream several days this week, including today, tomorrow, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. So if you do the math, right, That's 5 days plus the night stream tonight. We should be more than 17 hours into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth by the time the week ends. The only day I'm not playing it as the main stream is Sunday, because Sunday is my React day, so we're doing my clip show on DSP Reacts that day. And then Wednesday, I want to keep in the rotation Baldur's Gate 3. That's been an absolutely crazy playthrough of over 100, I think it's 102 hours now we're up to, something like that. And we're in the final area. We're unlocking quests, we're making progress, and I don't want people who've been around for that ride for the last 2.5 months to feel like I forgot them and put it on a total hiatus. So instead, we're definitely going to be doing it once a week, last day of the week moving forward, okay? So, that's a lot of this game this week, and I understand for some of you, there's a couple things. Number one, many of you probably don't want spoilers, so you probably won't be around, but understand something. 5 hours today, 3 hours every other day, a lot of you will be ahead of me. So you don't have to really worry that much about, oh no, I'm going to have horrible spoilers past maybe today, right? Like probably for those of you who are playing this as their major game, I think that you'll be like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not like I'm playing this nonstop all weekend and I'll be 40 hours in by next week. You know, I'm probably playing it way less than people who are actually bought the game and playing it themselves. That's a good thing, right? There you go. Number two, I don't want this game to be the only game I'm playing, all right? If I did that, sadly what would happen is people would be upset. We got other games for variety. I'm a variety streamer. So we're still going to do Street Fighter. We're still going to do Tekken for Friday Night Fights tomorrow night. I got a big Freudian slip there because Street Fighter had an expansion yesterday, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Because they actually rebalanced the game a little bit. And that's going to be part of game news today. The Street Fighter 6 rebalance patch. I'll talk a little bit about it for those who followed along my gameplay for 7 months.
Anybody care what this guy thinks?
No! I'm not doing the Street Fighter stuff. I want to stick with Tekken for now. So, Tekken on the late stream tonight, on Friday night. And Saturday night, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Sunday night, we're doing DSP throwbacks, retro react of more Heavy Rain. Monday night, more Tekken. And then Monday night, no stream because I'm doing private stuff. Tuesday night, Tekken. Wednesday night, Infinite Wealth. And that's the streaming week. So, 7 straight days. 5 of those days, Final Fantasy VII is the main stream. All right? Good variety this week for sure. Okay?
I missed that super chat, by the way, it showed up in his stream. I'm kind of curious to what it said. I missed it, I didn't really pay attention to it, but it got limbed. He got leaned hard. So let's just, you know, for people that wouldn't pay attention like me, let's say go to Raw DSP. Raw Phil, you know, and check their stream.
That makes me excited. Why?
Oh, shut up, Phil. You're a dork and nobody fucking likes you. What did he say? Was it this here? Palworld had 250k players only on PC in the last 24 hours. Use Google and stop spreading misinfo like you did with Elden Ring. Said DS Raven, and that got limbed. That got limbed to all hell. At least I think it did anyway, so that one got limbed. Get crazy. He probably done another one before that as well, I don't know. Some people are saying it did a separate one before that. I mean, we can try and look for it. What was the previous super chat? If we just like, I'm just kind of checking the wee preview thing. But he showed in a previous super chat because I don't see it. Or is it the one he had earlier? This one. Why don't you skip the podcast and play Final Fantasy VII? It is killing the views, not the early hour. Don't be a jackass to your viewers. Oh, that wasn't limbed. That wasn't limbed. But this was. Palworld has 250k players only on PC in the last 24 hours. Use Google and stop spreading misinfo like you did with Elden Ring. Banned. Jesus. Well, I feel the money usually parted and their money is gone to Phil and they're banned, so there we go. No surprise that Phil limbed them.
And yes, because some people are bringing this up, they're saying, so is your internet back? No, I'm broadcasting through a magical means today. I've actually completely foregone technology. I made a deal with Beelzebub in the backyard. I opened a portal to hell and I say, hey, if you let me stream today, you can have some special privileges. And he agreed. No, my internet's back. Yeah, last night. The internet went out. Right as I went to sleep. Like I was going to sleep, it was around like 12:30 a.m. You know, I usually go to sleep around 1 a.m. And I'm getting ready, my wife and I, and what we do is we like to play music at the end of the night. Nice relaxing music to get us, you know, in the mood to go to sleep. And we go to play it, and everything goes off. We're like, what the hell? And I'm like, don't tell me, right? I mean, after all the problems I had with my internet last year, yes, it is true. There was an actual troll of mine who worked for Comcast, my internet company, and they were purposefully messing with my internet, going into my modem and changing my settings, putting in malicious messages, and hitting reset during my streams. That's why I was kicked off the internet during the Side Scrollers interview last year, if you can believe it. Anyway, with all that being said, I was nervous about other malicious issues, but I was like, wait a minute, it's 12:30 in the morning, right? Why would this be happening now? You know, and then I went and checked. Both of my modems reset, and neither of them was reconnecting to the internet. And I was like, it's definitely not a troll. It's something going on with Comcast where they've lost service for tonight.
Burger.
And so we just went to sleep, and lo and behold, came up this morning, and everything's fine. So no problems there. Don't worry about that, okay? All right. Excuse me. So, full speed ahead today. What a podcast we've got, because I want to talk about my day off, but I also want to talk about news. There was an incredibly tremendous amount of gaming news yesterday. Now you might say, wait a minute. Why is this weird, Phil? Because there's always a tremendous amount of gaming.
He's going to try and say it's strange because it usually happens on his day off. He's going to try and insinuate that the gaming news coincides with him being off. As usual, he's going to try and make it all about himself here. Wait for it.
News during your day off, so there's no problem with that, right? Except, get this, it happened on a Wednesday, when I'm usually here. Why is it that whatever day I take off of the week is the day that inevitably will have the most game news in it? I'm lost. It happens every single week. It's usually Thursday, so I decide to take a different day off. Oh, now it's Wednesday, and you'll have all this insane amount of news. Okay, whatever. So we'll talk about it today. Quite a lot of topics to talk about. Most not good. Some really messed up, nasty stuff happening in the game industry. And it's sad to see it happening because I hate to say it, it doesn't look like it's the direct result of anything besides mismanagement and greed. But we'll talk about that as we get to the segment. What I think what we should do, quickly, let's recap what we did on Tuesday. Let's talk about my day off, right? We've already talked about the schedule, so let's instead then jump right into game news after that, and then we'll get set up for Final Fantasy. Fair enough. Now, I will say this, all right, before we get started. Today is February 29th. There usually isn't a 29th day in February, all right? It is the last day of the month. Any support that you guys lend me today.
Begment. He just immediately launches into a fucking Begment. Fuck me, man. Guys, it's the last day of February. I need that super chat money, I really do. He's going to mention Argentinian fake memberships and VPNs and troll member bombs and all that crap. He's going to lay it on thick and fast. Ignore the fact that he was given like $400 in super chats in the last few days by OIC on our soccer account. Yeah, never mind that. Apparently that didn't happen. That doesn't count, apparently.
Is incredibly helpful because I'm trying, obviously, to come back from the fact that I had, no exaggeration, I wish this was an exaggeration, over 2,500 fake gifted memberships on this channel.
They weren't fake.
For a month and a half, all right? Pretty much all my legitimate memberships went away. And that's awful because I'm not getting paid for any of those. These are people who normally...
You're getting paid. Phil, this is horrible misinformation. You're blatantly lying to your audience by pretending you're not getting a fucking cent from these memberships. These still cost money. It's not as much money as you'd fucking like, but they still cost money. And you from the 2,500 gifted memberships, I'm going to imagine you've made about $100 at least from those 2,500 gifted members.
One of the highest rated segments of all time that I've ever done.
It's not, but Phil was like, oh, this is not, Phil was hoping for like fucking big massive bucks, like fucking several thousand fucking dollars. No, it's over $100. But Phil wipes his arse of $100 fucking dollars. He implies that over $100 is the same. There's no money whatsoever. That's what Phil's implying right here. And he's directly lying to... He's not even pretending anymore. He is lying to his audience by pretending he didn't receive a single fucking penny for these members.
Memberships went away. And that's awful because I'm not getting paid for any of those. These are people who normally would have supported my content, supported my channel with a membership. They liked the fact that they were getting all these features. And then what happened is everyone got it for free.
And they didn't think to themselves, oh, let's support Phil by any of our means. No, they didn't. Like, they didn't think to themselves, oh, I can send Phil a super chat. I could send Phil a super thanks. I could literally do anything else. I could give people members myself of my own volition. No, they didn't do that. They didn't tip you, Phil. If they really wanted to give you money through an alternative means, they would have found a way to do it.
And because of that, of course, who's going to pay for something they got for free? Right? It's like, oh, it's a freebie. And as much as nice as that might be, and you might say, well, that's great, you got new emotes on your channel, everyone got access to the features, I lost a big chunk of my income. All right? This is not a joke. This is not a gross exaggeration. I lost, arguably, anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000.
Well, you cannot lose money you did not have. You cannot lose money you did not have. You didn't have it to lose in the first place. It's as simple as that. You didn't lose anything. There's no other way to fucking explain it. I was expecting a certain level of money, expecting a certain level of contribution on the YouTube side of things. And when that was not forthcoming, Phil was like, oh, I lost this. You didn't lose it, Phil. You just didn't get as much as you expected. You didn't have it to lose in the first place.
Over the course of a month and a half that these memberships were fake, okay? Now, there's no way to fix the problem. It's going to be ongoing. But I think undoubtedly what's going to happen is it's not going to be as big of a deal in the long term. It was just an initial shock. But it sucks because not only did this happen at a time when there's lowest ad revenue on YouTube, meaning already I was going to take a hit of my income because there's not a lot of ads to go around on YouTube in the months of January and February, but also, on top of all of that, there was a lull in games. If you take a look, pretty much I played exactly the same games for the entirety of the month of February. Like a Dragon Infinite Well, Tekken 8, Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I tried to do some different stuff there with the retro react streams, which went really well, right? But overall, there's not much I can do. I gotta play what's out. Suicide Squad was a humongous flop. Huge flop. No one cares about the game. It's a terrible game. It's dead, so I didn't play it. That was a game that I thought would have been good. Didn't work. Pal World. After initial interest, I stopped playing it. By the way, so did everybody else. If you guys aren't aware, they went from over 2 million players down to less than 100,000. The player base has completely fallen off for the game. It was a hype game for a couple weeks, and just like all these memeable games, it died and no one talks about it anymore.
And I imagine that's prompted a super chat that got limbed.
Although Helldivers 2 has seen great success, it's an online co-op shooter. I don't play co-op games like that, so it doesn't fit into my forte of the games that I play. So if you look at it this month, it was undoubtedly going to be a deader month, and there was nothing I could really do about it. I even played the very, very small Silent Hill game, right? It's only 3 hours long. I got through it in one sitting. So, all that being said, I did my best to try to entertain you guys. Thank you to those who were around and did support. But yeah, what happened was I have a giant hit now of income because people who would have had memberships did not get them. They just got them for free. And I hate to say it, although there was a handful of people who were like, oh, listen, I was going to buy a membership, but I got one for free. So now I'm going to come by and I'm going to support you in another way. I'm going to send you a tip. I'm going to do a super chat. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was like 2% of the people who normally are members. No exaggeration, because typically on this channel, I'll have anywhere between 500 to 800 members a month.
On average, Phil, you have about 300 organic members, and that's me being generous. You usually get a plethora of gifted memberships anyway, even before this fucking VPN nonsense whatsoever, you know? Usually you'd have like 300 odd organic members, and you would have several hundred gifted members. Normal gifted members, as in dollar amounts of gifted members. Like these sort of member bombs you got before in the past, they were using American dollars, it wasn't Argentinian fucking pesos or whatever. So, yeah, that wasn't organic growth either, Phil, really, you know? What about Derek, your long-term fan? How has he made up for getting a free membership? Has he gifted you any money any other ways? Of course not, because why would he? He doesn't need to.
Which equates, no exaggeration, to around $1,500 to $2,000 of my consistent income. And I don't have that now.
Oh, for God's sake, I need to rewind this again, but I cannot stress enough. He is complaining about money he never had. There's no other way to fucking explain it. He's literally upset about not getting money that he didn't actually ever have in the first place. It's like we have our fucking months on YouTube. Every content creator has this on YouTube, where they're going to get some well-supported months and not so well-supported months. It's just the nature of the fucking beast.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that was like 2% of the people who normally are members. No exaggeration, because typically on this channel, I'll have anywhere between 500 to 800 members a month, which equates, no exaggeration, to around $1,500 to $2,000 of my consistent income. And I don't have that now. So now what's going to happen is, when I get paid in March, I'm pretty screwed. Like this month, I feel I'm going to have to penny pinch and cut giant corners. And of course, this comes at a time when I have to buy a bunch of games. I just bought Final Fantasy VII. I got...
Phil, cry me a fucking river. Boo fucking who? The world right now is basically fucking penny pinching. Have you not been penny pinching all this time, Phil? Were you fucking living a fucking extravagant lifestyle by having like fucking sushi once a fucking week with your fat ass fucking wife and not bothering to try and make sure you're being responsible with your fucking money? Like, actually, yeah, it's Phil. You should by default be living in the mentality of penny pinching right now. Every penny should be a fucking prisoner right now.
people believe it.
You never fucking know what, especially in your line of work, Phil. And this is what you do for a living. And there's no guarantee the support's going to be there next month. So you've got to fucking imagine, surely fuck. He should just fucking think to himself, I better not be as, cash spending as usual. Maybe I should cut back on a couple of things. Maybe I should cut back on the fucking door dashes. Maybe I should fucking cut out on the fucking weekly meal with the wife. Maybe I should cut back on a WWE Champions time.
I'm going to be getting the Battlefront collection. I'm going to be getting Rise of the Ronin. I'm going to be getting Dragon's Dogma 2. And there may even be others this month. So in a month when I actually have a big cost coming up is a month when I'm going to get paid the least. So today, if you're here to chill with me.
So hold on a second. So let's break this down. So you're still going to receive, on YouTube side of things, probably about $2,000, I'd imagine. Between $2,000 and $2,500 from ad revenue, members, super chats. That will be your pay for YouTube. And that's just DSP Gaming. DSP Racks, about 100 odd members, whole bunch of money there as well. Another couple $100. Super chats that happen there as well. Then DSP Throwback channel, some more members, some more super chats, and so on and so on. It's a cycle. So across 3 different channels, he's probably making about $2,500, $3,000. So, and the YouTube money goes to his business apparently, and he has to buy 4 brand new games. Those 4 brand new games are going to cost like $70 each, I imagine, at most. So yeah, there you go. Like, he's got to spend 300 buckaroos on 4 brand new games. He still has thousands left over to invest in his business. And then the tips, he gets like fucking $4,000 in tips every month. Put that towards your fucking bills, Phil.
And hang out with the premiere of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because I'm very excited for this game. As I told you guys, this is one of my biggest, most hyped games of the year by far. Now I'm so much more on board with it this time, okay? And here's why, all right? The way I see it is, the first game, Final Fantasy VII Remake, okay, sadly, was a game that was mismarketed. Even though it did well, it really made it feel like it was what it wasn't. If they had said, this is Final Fantasy VII reimagined, it's not the original game. We're going in a different direction, a multiverse where anything can happen, so come check it out because it's your favorite characters with a new twist. I think everyone would have been like, what the hell, that sounds amazing. Instead, they literally said, oh, it's just Final Fantasy VII, but we're remaking it for a modern audience. That's not what it was at all. It was a lie. If you play the game, there's tons of differences of that game between that and the original, and the ending is completely different and now changes the entire plot of the Final Fantasy franchise. So because of that, it's new. This game is called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, The Unknown Journey Continues. The title art on the PlayStation 5 has Zack Fair standing there along with Cloud, Strife, and Sephiroth. He's alive. So it's going everywhere, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's going in a totally different direction. That makes me excited. Why? Because it's not a prequel. It's not a rehash or redo. It's a new game. I'm down for that. If you're going to make a brand new Final Fantasy game, I'm on board. I don't like the modern remake, the modern rehash, or a prequel style event. I want something that anything can happen and you don't know. Right now, the big question for everyone, what's going to happen to Aerith? Is it Aerith or Eris? Because I was getting confused because I don't even remember what they call her in this, but will she survive? You know, historically, she was one of the most shocking character deaths in video game history in the 1990s because she does pass away during the course of Final Fantasy VII. Not even at the end. It's like the middle of the game, okay? So, it's Aerith, TH? Okay, thank you. So what will happen? Will she survive? Will they have someone else die instead? That's an interesting take, right? Now that Zack Fair is alive, how will he change the plot? Will you get to play as him? Will he be a character? Will he play differently from Cloud? These are interesting questions that we need answers, right? And I stayed away from spoilers, and don't worry, I'm sure we're going to get them. Just to forewarn everyone, I almost guarantee you we're going to be spoiled on this game. The game's now out, everyone's playing it. Within a day, the entire plot will be on the internet, and people will be going around spoiling it for everybody. And there's nothing much that you can basically do, right? So I guess we'll see. All right, but I'm excited. Now knowing that this is a new game, this gets me excited. By the way, I'm happy that this came out now, and here's why. Man, Final Fantasy 16 was a huge disappointment last year, right? And that's supposed to be the flagship numbered title installment, you know what I'm saying? And basically you're like, man, what happened? How was it so bad? The pacing was terrible. The gameplay was piss easy, like a play school Final Fantasy button mashing, and the combat, the game sucked. I was so disappointed at how bad it was. I'm happy to get back to this because Remake was good. Remake was very good, and now we get to play this on PS5 at launch, which means the graphics are probably going to be absolutely outstanding and jaw-dropping. Plus, the other cool thing about this, it's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth open world. Unlike the first game where you were stuck in Midgar. In this one, it's the open world gameplay that you loved from the original Final Fantasy VII. This is when the game got much better. So I'm very excited to have this happen, and I hope that the game is as good as people are saying. I'm very, very pumped, and that's why I'm so excited to even play this so much this week and carry this as the mainstream for the next 3+ weeks. I want to have a great time with all of you, enjoying a brand new release, groundbreaking graphics, great gameplay, a redone plot, new elements. I'm just really pumped. I really am, and I hope that it's good, and I hope that you guys are going to come by every day and hang out with me. Listen, the reason that the Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough works so well is because of engagement. Because every day people are coming by and engaging. If we can get that engagement for this game too, that would make me so happy.
Translation: $100 per stream, per every single stream of this game. I just love how, yeah, engagement equals money. But it's just, Phil's not even pretend at this fucking point.
And this really is the first giant release of the year. Yeah, Tekken 8 and Like a Dragon were new games, but I didn't feel that level of hype that I'm feeling for Final Fantasy VII, okay?
But with translation, I didn't get as much money for those games, annoyingly, because you guys wouldn't give me it.
So, I hope you guys are on board, alright? I'm pumped for this. So, yeah, that's why I'm playing it so much this week, but I do have to maintain balance and everything. I'm super pumped. Anyway, so, let's now talk about what happened on Tuesday, and then let's talk about my day off, and then we'll get into game news. So, Tuesday, Baldur's Gate 3, more major progress. It was a major stream where we were already in Baldur's Gate. We went into the sewers, we found a whole bunch of combat down there, we unlocked a bunch of basically side quests for our exploration. One of our party members was kidnapped, Lae'zel, and now we have to try to rescue her, but we can't really do it yet because it's part of the main plot. So then we had to go back to the surface. We started getting involved in a whole bunch of other quest lines, like this race of female knights, but they're like nautical people who dress in scales. I don't know what the hell they're called. It's really weird. So we got that quest going. Then we found a bunch of oil in the water, dead fish, and we're investigating that. So there's all this stuff going on in the game, as always. I'm very excited to play more of it later this week, but it definitely has to be the playthrough that's on kind of a backseat to Final Fantasy VII. More Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth Tuesday night. It went really well. The stream was super fun. We advanced a bunch of side quest lines plus main story, and that's where we're headed with that game, is that we're going to continue with mostly story progress and not really do a ton of side content right now when it comes to, like, grinding stuff or anything like that. No Sujimon or anything like that. So that's going to be fun to jump into 2 more times later this week when we get to it, all right? So overall, Tuesday was a great streaming day. FYI, we got a poll going right now for what you want to see as the Retro React stream this coming Sunday night on DSP Throwback. It's going to be Heavy Rain. At this point, I don't even think there's really a reason for me to pretend like it's not going to be Heavy Rain, because when you take a look at all of this here, all right, and you refresh, it's basically Heavy Rain is at 56% and everything else is at like 15.
And he's just fucked off again.
Why is this thing here? There's no trash there.
There's a big truck outside and Phil's concerned.
What the hell?
Phil's usually not here when it's happening.
Oh, is it compostables? Oh, okay.
Dumbass.
I was just throwing for a loop because I heard the trash truck coming by outside, and I'm like, why is the trash truck here? It's not garbage week. And no one has their cans out, but I don't think it is. I think it's compostables. I think that's what it is. They're getting the compostables from the end of the street or something. That did throw me for a loop, because here, they only collect trash every 2 weeks, and you only get 1 can. So basically, if you don't have your trash thrown out, you're screwed. You have to go to the dump and pay to throw out your trash. It's pretty stupid how they do it here. Anyway, so let's get into it. Let's talk about my day off yesterday, which was an odd day off because it wasn't my normal day off. Usually it's Thursday, and this week it was Wednesday. We did a lot. It was actually quite a busy day, so I went out and I ran errands. By the way, I hurt my back, and it must have been I wrenched my back in my sleep or something, because I didn't lift anything heavy. I didn't do anything strenuous. But as I was going to sleep on Tuesday night, I had big shooting pain in the left side. Usually I have it in the right. It was the left side of my shoulder blade all the way down my back. I was like, what is this? This really sucks. And so I went to sleep. I woke up in the morning yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in like excruciating pain. My back was killing me. So I must have wrenched it or something in my sleep. And it sucked because I had planned to actually make a trip to the dump. We have some stuff really accumulated in our garage. Odds and
DoorDash boxes.
ends from around the house and stuff. We were going to throw a bunch of stuff out. I couldn't go. I'm like, there's no way I can go today because my back is killing me. This would be bad if I hurt my back even worse, going to the dump. So we didn't do that.
Make the most of the big beefy bitch you've got as a fucking wife and use her and the horsepower she has to fucking take that stuff to the dump herself. Just strap a fucking wagon in the fucking back of her and fucking get her to march towards the fucking dump.
Instead, I just kind of did grocery shopping and stuff like that. Basic stuff. Outside of that, things that we did together and outside of the normal realm, my wife was like, it's been a while, and our carpet in the bedroom.
Oh my God. Hold on.
Burger.
5 in a row. That's concerning.
My wife's like, it's been a while. Hint, hint. And then it's like, oh wait, it's not about that after all. But the carpet in the bedroom. I wonder where this story's going. Let me rewind it for full context. I first bingo of the game, by the way, because Phil touched his eye. What about the carpet in the bedroom?
My wife was like, you know, it's been a while, and our carpet in the bedroom is pretty gross because every once in a while, I told you about this, that earlier in this week, Jasper Kitty had woken us up vomiting all over the floor in the middle of the night. It happens sometimes with a cat. Sometimes cats just barf for whatever reason. Their stomach gets upset. They eat something. They fall on the floor. They're, you know, a piece of fuzz or something they're not supposed to eat. It upsets them, and that's it. So our rugs in this house are white. Of course, we never would have picked those, but that's just what was in the house when I bought it. So when Jasper goes bleh onto the floor, it makes a stain. Now we clean it, but it doesn't permanently really go away. It's like always slightly off. So my wife says, why don't we do a full carpet shampooing in the bedroom? And I said, that sounds like a good idea. It really needs it. So
But your back, Phil. What about your back? How on earth will you fucking get up from the fucking floor if you're bad back? If you're down there, giving that a good scrub.
do it. So much dirt came out of the carpet. All right, and we've done it. We usually try to do it at least once a year if we can. I think we did it about a year ago. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just completely off in my head. The water in the actual carpet shampooer was black. Okay.
Jesus Christ, Phil, your home is disgusting. No wonder fucking Jasper's sick all the time, for God's sake. This is what Jasper walks on. This is what Jasper, like, if he like eats something off the floor. Oh my God, Phil. You are going to kill your cat because you don't clean the house off enough.
And we emptied it out in the bathtub because you're not going to put it anywhere else. The bathtub clogged because there was so much dirt and dust and hair in this water. Okay, I had to get like liquid plumber and pour it down. I had gloves on. I'm like trying to unclog the toilet or the drain in the tub. It's all disgusting. And basically what happens is when you do this, big clumps of this dirt and hair come up and leave, like they sit on top of your carpet. So I was walking around with slippers on this soaking wet carpet, picking up these clumps of really gross yuck and throwing them out with paper towels. But a funny thing happened. So we've always had this long storage ottoman, all right, at the end of our bed. When I first moved in here a decade ago, the ottoman it kind of matches our living room couch downstairs, which is a sectional. It's the same material. It looks the same. It was meant to come as almost like a set. And so when I moved in here, I always put that ottoman, I put it at the bottom of the bed, the foot of the bed. The problem was I didn't really measure, and having that ottoman there's just not a lot of room to walk between the ottoman and then the dresser that we have against the other wall in the back of the bedroom, so it's kind of narrow in there. But I just always left it there. And the funny part is I remember distinctly when I first got the ottoman, I was like, oh, this is going to be perfect. I'll be sitting on this all the time, getting dressed in the morning, and I'll use it for storage. But because of the positioning of the ottoman, you basically never use it. It just sits there for looks, but you never really use it for anything because there's not a lot of room. So my wife and I moved the ottoman into the hallway to do the shampooing of the carpet, and we realized something. We're like, this is really nice in the hallway. Like this, it's a perfect thing you put against the wall. The hallway is wide enough that it doesn't make the hallway super narrow. You sit on it like, oh, this is nice and comfy out here. It's actually a nice little resting spot right in the middle of the hallway where you can relax. And we opened it up. We're like, we don't really have anything significant in this thing. We can start using this for storage now. Like, and then we go in the bedroom. Now the bedroom is just way more open because it doesn't have a giant storage ottoman blocking the walkway through the bedroom. It feels way more open space. So like, why didn't we do this earlier? Because you don't think of it. It's just, oh, it's just always been there, right? It's been there for a decade. You don't think to move it. And you move it, you're like, oh my God, like this is way better. So we had a little bit of moving stuff around. Like, this is pretty neat. So we did that. We did a lot of housework yesterday. We did a lot of cleaning of the house, different various things in the house, vacuuming, scrubbing, yada yada yada. Nothing too exciting for you guys to hear. But the funny part is, so my wife is looking for a game to play right now. Okay, now she only has the Xbox Series S. She doesn't have a PS5. So she's like, maybe she would have played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but she doesn't have a PS5. So that's not, in the cards. What's she gonna play? And she's been looking for other games. Last week she tried Tales of what the fuck was the latest Tales of game? I can't even remember the name of it. She tried it. She wasn't really impressed after the first session. She's like, nah, I'm probably not gonna go back to it. Kind of boring. And she didn't like the fact that in that game they don't tell you the it's Tales of Arise. Okay, they don't tell you like how difficult enemy parties are. Like for example, when you're playing Like a Dragon Infinite Well, every enemy party has an indicator above its head. Is it blue, red, pink? How hard is it? And it even tells you if it's a mini boss, so you know ahead of time. In that game, they don't tell you shit. So you could run into an enemy that's way higher level than you and just instantly trounces you. It's like, wow, great, now I lose progress. Right? Or have to restart. It's just I agree, like, that game, it's fine, but it definitely, it adheres to a lot of old tropes of JRPGs that modern convenience has surpassed these, and the game doesn't have them. Like, it ignores the fact that we have progress in JRPGs now. So.
Anybody care what this guy thinks?
No! Anyway, basically, she didn't like it that much. So she's not going to play that. She's looking for different games. So she went onto Game Pass and downloaded a bunch. She downloaded, a Forza Horizon game. I don't remember if it was, I think it was 5, because 4 and 5 are both on there. She's never played one before, but she wants to see if maybe she likes the open world exploration and the graphics. She actually downloaded Monster Hunter Arise. And I told her, I said, listen, Monster Hunter's a fine franchise, but just to forewarn you, Monster Hunter also has this really installed, like, learning curve. If you haven't played a previous Monster Hunter game before, you're going to need a guide to explain all these different crafting systems, and the game can be played 700 different ways depending on the weapons you use, and really it's meant to be a co-op game, not a solo game. It's not as fun solo, but she downloaded it, you know, she's going to check it out. But get this, the first game, because she downloaded like 3 games at once, the first game that downloaded, Power Wash Simulator. Now, I actually tried Power Wash Simulator on Game Pass over a year ago. I only just did the first stage, and I thought it was fun. I was like, this game is the most simple game you've ever seen, but it's relaxing, and it's stimulating. And for someone like me, this is the kind of game that I could probably do this and then interact with my audience. We could have Power Wash nights where we talk and hang out, and it would be like a chill stream of me doing that, right? So people didn't really ask for it. Like after that, I presented, I said, I would love to do this. What do you guys think? And everyone was like, no. So I never did it. We never implemented it, okay? But she starts playing it, and she's like, wow, like seriously? This is the most relaxing game ever, right? So basically what happened was she turned it on, and she was playing it. We were talking and hanging out and having a good time, relaxing and having conversation and stuff while she played the game. That's really what the game is. It's something you do to like occupy you and relax you while you're just kind of doing something else. And it was really good, like no exaggeration. I think she beat the first 2 stages and started the 3rd, or got really far in the 3rd. I don't know, but you know, a few hours where we were just hanging out, and she's doing Power Wash Simulator, and it actually ended up being very relaxing, which is good because it took my mind off that my back was killing me last night, or yesterday. So anyway, that was basically our day. Oh, and I should tell you about this. So for dinner, now we almost never do this, okay? We decided that we wanted burgers for dinner. Now we almost never.
But don't just say burger. Do I have a fresh burger to add to the soundboard? Let me hear that robust burger again.
Never do this, okay? We decided that we wanted burgers for dinner.
Oh, I'm going to add that. I'm definitely adding that fucking burger to the fucking soundboard. I need to remember, but yeah, I'm definitely adding that bastard. But they wanted burgers for dinner.
Now, we almost never do that. Like I said, when we're going to order out on our day off, we'll usually order from like a high-end restaurant, something that's like a regional cuisine. Like recently we've been ordering...
Remember, guys, you'll have to fucking penny pinch soon. But you fucking mustn't forgo the once a week fucking massive fucking expenditure on a big high fine dining restaurant experience to get DoorDash to his fucking house.
Korean food, Thai food, Indian food, that kind of stuff. All of a sudden we're craving burgers, okay? And basically, we were like, well, we want to get it from a better place, okay? So we ended up ordering, and I'm just gonna be honest, you know, I don't want to pan a business, but we're pretty disappointed because the business fucked it up so bad, right? Like, so we ordered from this place called the Habit Burger, okay? This is a place out here that they have char burgers, meaning it's actual flame broiled.
He's gonna fucking name and shame them. Notice he only fucking names and shames places where he knows he's not gonna go back to, so he can fucking shit all over them. He doesn't name the fucking places he fucking loves going to because he's fucking terrified of the detractors finding out the prices of things that he fucking gets there. Because he's probably confident he's never fucking gonna go back there, he's gonna name and shame them and shit all over them. He doesn't want to bash on businesses, but here he is naming them outright and completely just gonna fucking destroy the reputation as much as he can on his own channel.
Broiled burgers instead of fried. They do it fresh for you. They custom make it. You can put whatever toppings you want on your burger. And they do things like chicken sandwiches as well. They do salads. They do milkshakes. They do fries. They do onion rings. They do all this stuff. Okay? And so we ordered, each of us, I ordered a char burger combo with onion rings. And she ordered a chicken sandwich, grilled chicken sandwich, which was supposed to be charred chicken, like it has char on it from their grill, with fries. And it shows up. All right, it shows up fast, by the way. I'm like, oh, this is a good sign. Completely forgot the fries. No fries in the order whatsoever. Oh, great. That's just fair, right? You forgot one of my items, okay? So you think that would be, they fucked up one thing, maybe they were busy. My onion rings were so overcooked. You could take the onion ring and you could beat it on the table and it didn't break. It was that hard. It was like they overcooked it. Like they cooked them and then they cooked them again and then they cooked them again. That's how bad the onion rings were that showed up. And it's just, just not even edible. Like, what the fuck? I did try. They gave us ranch dipping sauce. I tried to dip it and eat. I was like, oh my god. Like, what the fuck? So, her chicken sandwich was okay, but they don't season the chicken. All they do is they cook it on the grill so it has a char flavor, but that's it. So she got one with like teriyaki sauce and like a bunch of condiments and cheese and stuff like that. It was all right, but it was very messy. My burger was pretty good. So we shared, basically. We kind of went halfsies on each. But how do you forget the side of one combo and then completely destroy the side of the other combo, right? So, you know, we had to complain, and we got like a partial refund, and then we were still hungry, so we ended up like having snacks later on in the night because, I mean, we didn't really get our full meals. We only got a sandwich instead of a full combo.
We had to complain. We had to complain. Oh my god. We had to complain. So what did I get for the complaints? Hold on.
Right? So, you know, we had to complain, and we got like a partial refund, and then we were still hungry, so we ended up like having snacks later on in the night because, I mean, we didn't really get our full meals. We only got a sandwich instead of a full combo because they basically ripped us off.
Oh, they made a mistake, Phil, and you got the refund for it, so you're compensated for their mistake. That is an end of the issue. Look, it happens to everyone. When you're ordering food online, sometimes the place you're ordering from, they will make a mistake. They don't do it intentionally. They want your business. They want your repeated business. So if they make a mistake, they think it's, you know, it's in the best interest to try and rectify that as best as possible. It happens, Phil. And here you are crying in your podcast about it.
So anyway, yeah, it wasn't a very good dinner. And the thing is, like, the burger was good. Like, the burger was dead on exactly how I want a burger. It was fresh, it was juicy, everything on it that I wanted, that I had ordered, full of flavor. So the burger was great. The chicken sandwich was meh, and the one side we received was atrociously bad. So how do you rate that? Right? I mean, basically what that tells you is they're really good at burgers and literally nothing else. Like, they probably have a staff where they have one person who always does the burgers and does a great job, and then everything else is just a rush job by a bunch of kids who don't know what the hell they're doing, and it ends up like shit.
Well, Monet bastard. Meester's apparently sent me something in artwork. What the fuck is this? Oh my god. Meester has sent this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of what to. You're not the only one that's made artwork. Tacozilla has made some stuff as well, I think. Let me find what he's done. He's made a couple of interesting things. Tacozilla had this effort. Is that... Now, that face looks familiar. Is that who I think it is here? Is that some notorious Canadian perverted person? Mm-hmm. But yeah. So yeah, Mr. had that. Tacozilla had that. Both are nightmare fuel. So there you fucking go. Sweet fucking Jesus. Anyway, let's get on with the bingo. We're doing quite well.
So it is what it is. That was our amazing dinner. It wasn't very good. So that was really our day off, alright? Oh, by the way, I totally forgot to use it. Son of a bitch. Well, it's too late now. Anyway, so that was our Phil's day off. Nothing overly special or anything like that. Okay. Anyway, I guess we're gonna get to the news segment. All right. By the way, I got distracted earlier. The point I was trying to make before I got completely on a tangent was that if you guys can support my streams today, it would really, really help.
I got distracted. Let me get back to begging. Guys, money, please. Money, please. No. Thank you. I am no longer distracted from begging you for more money. Please give me money. Thanks.
Ton, because I'm hoping that I can basically get a situation where we can have a little bit of a rallying today for the new release. It'll help to make up for all the lost revenue of the fake memberships. I don't know if that's...
Phil, you cannot lose money you didn't have. I cannot... I'm sick of fucking repeating the same point over and over again. Oh, that stupidity hurts my fucking head. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's gonna happen. I know people have been waiting for a new game. And finally the new game is out, right? So I'm hoping that if you guys like today's content, if you like the fact I'm covering Final Fantasy so much today, please support the stream, okay? I would really, really appreciate that if we could have a really great day.
I would really appreciate it if you guys would just fucking give me all your fucking money. You sound like fucking Bob Geldof at fucking Band-Aid here.
Oh, really? Robbie says, online orders and drive-thru orders are made separately in the back of these stores. I worked at Chipotle. Lots of restaurants do this. If you want quality, you have to go inside. The other orders are rushed. Jeez. Well, that's sad to hear. There's a ghost kitchen situation, but no, because they really exist. That sucks. Anyway, yeah, guys, please support the streams today if you can. Today, particularly, things like super chats and memberships would be very, very helpful, because anything you do today will still count for this month, and I'll get paid for it in March, as opposed to if you show up tomorrow and support via super chats or memberships, I don't get paid till April. And March is going to be the month where I need help, because I'm already going to have way less income, plus I have to buy a bunch of games, so it would really help right now. So please today, guys, support the streams if you can, if you like the stuff, all right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to get into gaming news. And today we've got a million topics. Like, it's so ridiculous.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a very interesting number, Phil. I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't, and yet at the same time, I kind of want to, but I shouldn't. But it said million, it said million twice. And it is an interesting number. Nah, I'm not going to do it.
Ridiculous how much happened during my day off. I just can't put up with it at this point. All right? First of all, a ransomware gang is claiming they have hacked Epic Games. They're saying they have 200 gigabytes of internal data, including emails, passwords, full names, possibly addresses, payment information, source code, and more from the company. And they are trying to hold them hostage. I mean, this is very reminiscent. Remember that a similar thing happened with, was it Rockstar? Who was it that it happened to? Now, I can't even remember. I think it was Rockstar, right? Or was it somebody else? I can't even remember at this point. Because this seems to be something that happens like 5 times a year now, right? And it's funny because we were just saying recently, oh, it was Insomniac. That's right. It was Insomniac after Spider-Man came out, right? And it's just so weird because how on earth are all these companies being infiltrated like this? It seems like a prominent issue now.
And YouTube's been a bit funny all of a sudden. Don't know why YouTube just suddenly decided to be a fucking bizarre, but there you go. Maybe if I do that. Okay, but Kel Denson sent a super chat, but I don't know why it hasn't popped a notification. Like, it's not showing my activity feed for whatever reason, but thank you, Kel Denson, for the super chat. It says he was literally just bragging about eating out. Now he's asking for money, like, holy cow. Yeah, he literally transitioned from... He doored... So let's just make sure we stress this point. He had at least 2 separate DoorDash orders on his day off. A disappointing burger thing, and then he had something afterwards when he got the partial refund because they were still hungry, because he forgot his fucking fries and his onion rings were overcooked. So they had 2 DoorDashes at least that day. They might have had a third one in the morning for breakfast, we don't know yet. Sometimes they do that, but that wasn't explained. But yeah, it went from that to saying, guys, please, I need money. And here he is fucking just not about, I'm getting DoorDashes every meal for the fucking same day off. It's just the lack of financial care he shows for himself and his own business. Like, he won't forget to ask for money, but he'll forget how to fucking spend it wisely.
In the modern day, but it wasn't recently. Like, just a few years ago, this wasn't happening. Now, all of a sudden, this is happening, like, constantly, right? And especially with Epic Games, you got to understand why this is such a big problem. I mean, Fortnite, probably the biggest microtransaction game besides maybe GTA Online. So they probably have, no exaggeration, millions of customers' pieces of information.
For fuck's sake, I said millions for a third time. You know what? If it says millions 3 more times, we get a free space and I'll play it. We've had 3 million so far. If we get 3 more, it's a free space and I'll play the damn clip.
Just for microtransactions of that game. Most kids play Fortnite in some capacity and have spent money in it. So at the very least, their parents' information is present on these Epic Games servers, and these hackers are claiming they have it. So what happens now? I don't know. But, I mean, this could be a huge problem for them. You know, if any of this information gets out, if they get hit with a class action, right, they're fucked. So I'm curious what will happen with this, and if they're going to give in to demands, or if they're just going to say, fuck this, we won't play ball with, you know, basically terrorists, which is what they are, and go from there. But why is this happening so prominently? Rockstar with the leaks, Insomniac, and now Epic Games. Because Insomniac was the leak of Wolverine, remember? The Wolverine game, and had the playable demo and everything. So what's going on here? I'm at a loss. Like, what is going on with security, right? You would think that a major company like this would have some, you know, some good security. In effect, how are these hackers getting into these companies' files? I would be fascinated to hear how they're doing it. Are they using the same tactic over and over? Is this a brand new tactic and no one's foreseen that it's happened, and that way no one has a way to combat it? Like, what is going on that this is just a recurring thing that seems to be just common now, right? I just don't know. Fed Rogers says a lot of people are saying it's because a lot of people are working now from home. I mean, I guess I can see that, but if you're going to work from home, well, again, why is there no security? Like, even if you're remote working, I mean, you got to log in. No? I mean, really, what is going on? I'm interested to know what's happening here with the situation. I mean, is it a work from home situation and they're exploiting this? I don't know. All right, let's continue on because we have a lot of news to talk about today. Rockstar Games has put out a company-wide message stating the following. All employees must return to the office 5 days a week starting in the month of April. Why? Well, as you know, since COVID, a lot of these companies have worked remotely. But what Rockstar is saying is that basically due to the fact that they have had so many issues with Grand Theft Auto 6 up to this point and keeping security, I mean, this goes hand in hand with the story we just had about Epic. They want to make sure that the game is locked down because they are now heading into the final development stages of GTA 6. So for security and productivity reasons, they are forcing employees to work physically at work instead of remotely.
I mean, to an extent, I think... sorry.
Dog, what's up?
Oh, thank you very much. So I don't know why it didn't play Kel Denson's notification for his super chat, but it has played Twilight Media Corp's notification. I am so confused why it's ignored Kel's one, but it's played that one. I have no idea what's going on. Thank you, Twilight Media Corp, for the super chat. It says, many DoorDash orders as DSP's penny pinching plan. It pretty much is. It seems like it is case in point. Aye. Colleen says that he's reading off his phone. Is it clear and obvious? By this freeze frame, I would say you're right, actually. From this freeze frame, that was clearly reading off his phone. So, yeah, I think we can tick off that as well. Phone stuff.
Burger.
There we go. The whole thing about Rockstar forcing employees back into the office, businesses, COVID is over, okay? So it's one of those things where businesses are allowed to basically dictate like these kind of terms. Like before COVID, it was quite normal to also fucking go into the office and not work remotely. And there's definitely pros and cons to working remotely. I like the idea of both being in the office and also working remotely. I feel like Rockstar should, I don't know, also for people that are like massively involved with creating the fucking game, maybe make it mandatory for them to be very hands-on in the fucking office and make things like secure, nailed down. But not for every single employee. It feels a bit extreme. I don't know, that's just my fucking take on that. It feels a little bit extreme on Rockstar's part. But maybe there's more to the story, who knows?
And apparently employees are not happy. They're pretty upset because I guess a lot of them are working under the impression or premise that they were going to be allowed to do this remote work. And I guess I can understand if you're not in an immediate situation where basically you can do that, like get to work easily. I mean, I can understand how this is going to throw your life on its head.
So, I can only use my own example, right? My own, like, so even though the capability of remote working was always there for the work I do for my bank. So I work for a bank, you know, it involves like borrowing credit card stuff, you know, dealing with refunds and all that shit, you know what I mean? But it's a job, it keeps me fucking going. The work I do, it was always able to be done from home. It's just that we never done that because it was always, you know, being in the office. That's the way it was back in the fucking day. And then COVID happened, and I was very fortunate that so many people fucking saw themselves losing fucking jobs because of fucking COVID, you know. And no, I do not work as a call center. Can you imagine me talking to fucking customers? Someone rings in, what do you want, you fucking dad? No, I'll be the worst fucking person to talk to a fucking customer. I'm a nice bastard, but I'm not a very patient bastard, you know. I'd be fucking very impatiently trying to fucking get to the fucking root of this fucking customer's problem or just fucking hang up on them. So I'm not in call center side of things. I'm there behind the scenes trying to fix fucking shit. But yeah, even though my job was capable of being done technically from home the whole entire time, it wasn't until COVID happened where the hand is forced for a lot of companies to say, okay, here's laptops, go work from home, let's just keep things going. At first they tried to have it be a thing where you were, in the UK anyway, it was, what was the term they used? There was a special term they used, like a designated worker or a vital employee or something. There was a strange wording they used for people that, you know, it was like you actually had to get like fucking letters, like permission letters from your employer in case the police asked you, key worker, that was a key worker was a term, key worker, essential worker. So like literally, so if you're seen out and about, and like the police actually just fucking ask people like, where are you going? Like it's like, I'm going to work. Here's my letter from my boss to confirm that I'm a key worker. It's crazy. But then obviously they did, that was at the start of the fucking COVID shit. Since then things got a lot, but my work has been very good for that. My work has stressed that the whole, flexible working is fine. If you want to come into the office, come into the office. You want to work from home, everything else. Phil hasn't worked in 15 years, and he's going to fucking pretend to be some sort of authority on, or some expert on the fucking issue. Some businesses will be eager to try and get things back to some sort of semblance of normality. If Rockstar want their employees to be working back in the office on a full-time basis, that is up to them. That is their business, it's their company. COVID is, the whole COVID stuff is gone. I know COVID's not gone. Like, people can still get COVID, you can still catch COVID, and you fucking need to make sure you look after yourself. But the whole kind of lockdown stuff, that's long gone, and hopefully it won't come back anytime soon. So it's up to Rockstar as a business if they want to run it that way. And if the employees don't like it, and then unless they can come to some sort of agreement with Rockstar, it's really, if the terms aren't agreeable, maybe they should look to go elsewhere if they want to keep working from home. I do have some sympathy to a degree, but at the same time, isn't it up to the employer to set the terms, and if you don't like those terms, you can go work somewhere else if you want to. It doesn't seem massively unreasonable for Rockstar to try and prioritise security, kind of in that regard especially. I don't know.
Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
YouTube's being funny again, come on. Come on, YouTube, stop being weird. Brian's as soon as I fucking start talking, I'll start talking. Brian's asking, can I say purple burglar alarm quickly and repeatedly? By the way, no, I cannot say purple burglar alarm quickly and repeatedly. Purple burglar alarm is not a part of my vocabulary, so I'm sorry I'll talk you down, but I cannot say purple burglar alarm. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
So I guess the real question, because someone in chat just said, well, how is this legal? It depends on the employee's contracts. It's exactly what it depends on. So if you are a contracted employee, a salaried employee, in your contract, there's going to be terms that outline what is expected from you as an employee of the company. And they have to give you certain things, and you have to do certain things for them. That's the two sides of the contract that they give you. However, in the United States of America, we have what's called at-will employment. And this is a problem, because at-will employment, it was originally designed, all right, to give power to the employees. Because what used to happen was you would get into a contract with an employer, but then an employee would want to leave, but the contract would state that they can't leave for a set amount of time with this and this and this, and because of that, the employee would be stuck.
Phil, you're boring me. I'm going 1.5 speed. You boring bastard.
In a life situation where they have to keep working for a company they don't want to work for, almost like not a slave because they had to get paid, but still imagine if a company says, well, we know that you're a talented employee, and we don't want you working for another competing company, so we're not going to allow you to leave our company. You're stuck with us for a long time, right? That's what they would do. So at-will employment is supposed to be a law that fixes that, and what the at-will employment says is basically thus. A company can fire you at any time for any given reason, except one deemed illegal, such as racism, sexism, and stuff like that. But as long as it's a reason that's a qualified reason for termination, they can terminate you at any time. As an employee, you have the ability to work for a company and leave whenever you want. You don't have to work a set amount of time. There's no such thing as a 2 weeks notice. It is a myth. It is a professional courtesy that we do here in the United States, that if you're going to quit a job, you give your job 2 weeks notice you're leaving, so they have 2 weeks to try to figure out what they're going to do to replace you or maybe shuffle your job responsibilities around. But the truth is, there is absolutely no legal repercussions for not doing that. You could just quit and walk out the fucking door, and there's nothing anyone can do about it if you are an at-will employee, okay? So the intention is full flexibility. The problem is, since this law is so loose, Rockstar can literally say, well, we've now decided you have to come back to the office, and if someone refuses, Rockstar can just find an excuse and fire the person.
Is this only based, so is this news story only for American offices? Because Rockstar have offices all over the place. They got offices based in London, they've got based in Edinburgh as well, and then I'm pretty sure they're in Canada as well in some capacity. But they are global. They're a global company all over the place. Dundee. No, Rockstar North, they started in Dundee. GTA Essential was born in Dundee in Scotland. But I'm pretty sure they moved to a nice swanky office in Edinburgh. Rockstar North upgraded to the fucking Edinburgh, I'm pretty sure. They moved up in the world, because fucking who wants to stay in Dundee? But yeah, but as soon as the thing, Phil has not provided full details as to whether this applies to every single Rockstar employee globally, or if this is only for workers or in American offices, or what. His lack of detail in this means that he can just spin this into his own sort of, you know, personal sub-story of contract employees, not shit. I don't know.
And there's nothing that anyone can do about it. Now, of course, that person can sue Rockstar, but they'd have to prove in a court of law that Rockstar somehow violated some kind of a law or agreement or something like that. I'll give you an example. I worked for Best Buy for about 1 year.
Of course he makes that bit himself. Of course he would. And Twilight's saying if the company requires you to work in an office and you refuse, they have every right to fire your ass. To a degree, yeah. I mean, that's it. Sometimes it can depend on the contracts as well. I mean, for me, I feel quite fortunate, you know, as I said, for my, like, I don't have to work in office. I've chosen to go back into the office and work full time, pretty much, you know. But I've got the flexibility as well. I've got a laptop still, you know what I mean? So I can work from home as well on days. Like, I actually got to do it today. I was meant to be in the office today working, and I just wasn't feeling great, and so I worked from home instead because I was just not feeling fantastic today. So I'm fortunate I can just still do my work and do it from remotely. But yeah, I mean, not every employer will be that catering though to the needs of their employees, and Rockstar clearly feel it is important that they try and tighten the ship somewhat, you know, mainly because of that big security leak they had. So, you know, with all these spoilers happening with fucking GTA 6, they are naturally trying to protect their interests here. So yeah, I mean, if I can understand, and Rockstar's point, I mean, obviously Rockstar, people just may think Rockstar are greedy, but they're trying to protect their intellectual property here, and they probably think the best way of doing that is to try and just have everyone based in the office instead of being working remotely.
Hired me on a business team, so they paid me more than almost everyone else in the store because I was supposed to be selling servers and high-end equipment. This was the mid-2000s, by the way, so almost 20 years ago this happened. Then the company decided 6 months into the program they didn't want to do it anymore, so they were trying to force everyone in the business team to either get like high-end certifications or to downgrade your position to a lower-paid position in the store because they didn't want to have the business team anymore. So you either were going to be like an installer for Best Buy at a high-end, or you were going to be like a line-level employee and get paid half. I refused. So I'm not doing either. You hired me under this premise, therefore I'm going to stay in this job at this level no matter what, and there's nothing you can do about it. Unless you fire me, in which case I'm going to sue you. So what they did is they framed me. They actually said that I had violated the store's discount policy for buying 3 PlayStation 2 consoles at a 40-cent discount each.
This went to court, by the way, and you can find these court documents online. To an extent, the court kind of somewhat semi-agreed with Phil Burnell, because the discounts, they tried to terminate Phil's contract because he used an employee discount so Phil wanted to use consoles to run a tournament. Like he was going to set up some sort of fighting game tournament, and so yeah, he thought to himself, I work at Best Buy, I can get myself some fucking consoles and I can use my employee discount to get consoles, and then I can host a tournament and I can charge people money for hosting this tournament, and I can charge him money to play in it. But because he was basically benefiting financially from his employee discount, they tried to fire him. And Phil did actually win that case, but they came to some sort of agreement pretty much afterwards where Phil was let go. But Phil did win that particular case. It went to court. This is online. If you Google Phil Burnell Best Buy, I'll try and find it for you actually. Let's see. Phil Burnell Best Buy. Yeah, it's the first result for me. Phil P. Burnell versus Best Buy stores. And it won't let me reload. It won't let me load the fucking page. The URL, it's not letting me load it sadly, but the URL is in the chat right now if you guys want to check it yourself. I've looked at it before and I was able to check it before, but for some reason it's not letting me load it. I'm trying to load it at my end, but it's just saying I'm getting this message myself. I don't know why. But I've seen this before and it's worked before for me. It might work for you guys. Maybe it's just being weird for me right now. I don't know. Maybe it's timed or whatever. But yeah, this whole thing was online. This whole fucking court doc thing, you know what I mean? It's available to view. That's the URL for it anyway. And yeah, Phil technically did win that case, but then they came to some sort of kind of agreement of sorts. You know, so check out yourself if you want to be. If you want. So Damien Anderson can see it, but other people can't see it. I guess it should be more for some people. Also, yeah, Mister really wanted a screenshot, so yeah, I didn't forget. It is an amusing face, to be fair. Let me see what I can do. I'm doing my thing now. So there we go. We do that. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then we go here, and there we go. Good stuff indeed. And then let's probably explain a bit more about the whole court case in general, what Phil was alluding to there. Let me just yeet this towards my members in the chat, and they can enjoy that particular image. But yeah, as Prophet says, Phil was fired. Oops, wrong thing. Phil was fired because he abused his employee discount by purchasing multiple PS2 so he could run tournaments. Best Buy couldn't prove Phil made money, so Phil won the unemployment insurance. Pretty much, yeah. That's basically the ins and outs of that court case.
Guess what? They fired me for it. I went to court. I won easily. The judge laughed at them in my hearing. Audibly laughed. And said to Best Buy, did you really think that someone would actually willingly risk their employment for $1.20? Are you stupid? Anyway, the point I'm making here is any company in the United States will find a reason to try to get rid of you if they want to get rid of you. So right now with Rockstar demanding all employees must come back to the office for the final leg of GTA 6, what if a third of the employees said, well, no, we don't want to do that? They'd be like, okay, bye. We'll find a reason. We'll just fire you. It doesn't matter, you know, what the reason is. They'll just figure out a reason. You know what I mean? That's how companies are. They see you as an asset in their portfolio. They see you as a number on a spreadsheet, a wheel, a cog in a giant machine. They don't see you as a person. So a company like Rockstar could easily say, listen, the whole industry is cutting back, and if you're not going to listen to us when we tell you to come to the office, we're just going to let you go, and we'll find someone else who will do it. And they probably will. So the employees are upset because they were under the impression and were basically promised that they could all work from home, and now that promise is being basically turned back on. And of course, the other leg of this is, if they're already being forced to come back to the office to finish GTA 6, and the premise is, oh, privacy and security, we can't have anything leaked, what's to stop Rockstar from saying, well, you're already here, so you can't go back home ever again. You know, you're always working here from now on. No remote work ever again. They could do that. And the employees really have no power to stop it, right?
I mean, the employee has the power to go elsewhere and take their talents elsewhere if they so choose to do so. Like, Rockstar, like, if Rockstar want to try and be super strict and authoritarian with us, they are risking losing potentially their best employees by stubbornly digging their heels into the ground and saying, no, we're not going to let you do this. No. I imagine, Phil, that there was some sort of amicable agreement in place for people that maybe want to be able to do some things. Maybe it'll be flexible. Maybe it'll be quite flexible. Like, if you're working from home, there's certain things you can't do while working from home. Like the really serious stuff involving like a lot of the core data you got to do in the office only. Maybe there's some sort of agreement like that kind of way. You know what I mean? Who knows? But really, isn't it up to Rockstar though? Isn't it up to the business to set the terms? Phil's trying to claim, oh, what if they break their fucking promises? What fucking promises? Phil has not pointed out what fucking promises, you know, were stated. Phil's trying to claim that Rockstar promised their employees you could work from home, and then they're fucking going back on that promise. I don't. That is just. Is that in their contracts? Has Rockstar gone against their contractual obligations to their employees? Phil's not stated that. Prophet is trying to send me a link to the court thing. Isn't this the same URL I just tried?
Yesterday was a really slow day for me on stream.
I don't know, maybe the same URL I tried, Prophet. I mean, see, it loads for some people, but it doesn't load for everyone else, and I don't think it's going to load for me. So Prophet's trying to send me the court documents, but I don't think it's going to work for me for whatever reason. Maybe it's to do with location, I don't know, but for whatever reason. But I have viewed it before. For whatever reason I can't view it right now, but I've certainly viewed it before and looked at it before. But it's not, for whatever reason, probably it's not working for me. But there you go. Anyway, let's crack on Bingo. I don't want to get too distracted, too derailed with this kind of stuff. Let's just crack on it.
So there you go. Anyway, so I guess we'll see what happens with this final push development, all right, of GTA 6 and what kind of, news we'll get out of that. Next story. Remedy Entertainment, the makers of Alan Wake 2 recently, the makers of Control, the makers of Quantum Break, and many other games over the years, have officially acquired the full intellectual property rights for the Control franchise from 505 Games. Previously, I guess it was like shared, but I guess Remedy now, with the hit that was Alan Wake 2, and the fact that they now want to make bigger games, better games, and they want to have that shared universe between Control and Alan Wake, they wanted to make sure that they fully owned the rights so they could do whatever they want with the franchise, and they have obtained it, right? So pretty cool, right? Pretty darn cool. And I certainly hope that they do a good job with it, because Control was good, but not as good as I wanted it to be. The plot was amazing. The gameplay was meh, repetitive, and not that fun. If they can refine the gameplay to make it better, then Control will be great. And I'm actually excited for a sequel to Control because it will tie in with Alan Wake 2. I mean, there were ridiculous amounts of references in Alan Wake 2 to the Bureau, right? Which is the name of this group, this entity, this group of people in Control who are trying to solve these paranormal things. I guess we'll see what happens, but holy shit, what a lie he told about Best Buy. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. Yes, I told a big lie. Sure I did. Anyway, so, yes, Control. I'm excited that they own it now, and I'm actually excited to hear what they're going to do with the franchise next. I want to hear more about this sequel, okay? Cool.
I mean, technically Phil did not lie about it. It's just, it's so funny. Seeing Phil's reaction is so fucking hilarious. But Phil didn't really, I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of things that were fucking stretching the truth massively. Best Buy did try and fire Phil based on him getting a discount for like $1.50 or something like that. It was the most minimal fucking discount ever. And Best Buy done their best to try and get Phil fired based on that technicality. They were desperate to get rid of him, basically. And Phil did win the court case, bear in mind. You know what I mean? He won that unfair dismissal thing.
Here's a good one. You ready for this? The Last of Us director Neil Druckmann has said in an interview he doesn't think that he has many more big games left in him. Oh, it's really too bad. Anyway, moving on. Let's continue with real news. Okay. No, I'll actually comment on this for real. All right. Basically in the interview, here's what he says. So, when they were making games like Uncharted 1 and 2, okay, and what's hilarious is in the interview, as they're interviewing this guy, the way he's talking is like he was the one doing it all, right? Like, oh, yeah, back with those games, it was a party atmosphere. Everything was laid back. We'd have late nights, or especially like the multiplayer of Uncharted 2. We would just sit around the office playing this game to the wee hours of the morning, enjoying it, tweaking it a little bit, and all of this, right? And it's like, what's hilarious about that story is he wasn't, really fully in charge of any of those games he's describing that he claims were the better games. He would share responsibility with many other people who no longer work for the company. He forced them out because his attitude basically was that he was going in a certain direction with these games, and these people wanted to go in another, and he basically was like, well, it's my way or the highway. They said, well, then we're leaving. We're not putting up with you. You're like a giant ego. You're an egomaniac. We want nothing to do with you. Good luck, and we're going to go do our own stuff. And so I believe there were two people who were also in charge of those games, Uncharted 1 and 2, that is, who left after that and kind of left. The real story was Uncharted 4 was a completely different game, and then got retooled under Druckmann's watch to be what it ended up being, which, by the way, was a great game, but that basically the studio, then when those people left, completely turned direction, and that's why you've got The Last of Us 1. That's a completely somber, serious tone, talking about really interesting plot lines, like what's it like in a post-apocalyptic situation where people are dying left and right from these cordyceps. What are the human relationships like in that situation, right? Take a look at the relationship between Joel and Ellie in that game and all of that, and it's all about survival and emotion. And then Last of Us 2 just becomes a very generic piece of revenge, angst, very teen angsty fucking game where everyone's a dumbass, people acting out of character from the first game. Basically, you could tell someone else wrote Last of Us 2 versus Last of Us 1. Yeah, it was Neil Druckmann. He wrote Part 2, and the plot of Part 2, in my opinion, was atrociously fucking bad. Not even close to how good Last of Us 1 was, because he wrote the whole fucking thing, and the people who wrote the good parts of Last of Us 1 aren't worth the company anymore. They moved on, right? So, basically, he says in this interview, when we were making the old games, it was like a party atmosphere. But basically, once we started making games that were expected to be giant blockbusters for Sony, it sucked all the fun out of it. And he even says, recently when I've been working on other projects, like The Last of Us TV show, or, there was something else that he recently did too, and I can't remember what it was. But basically, it's like, that stuff was so much more fun and interesting to me than making these games. So I think that basically, like, Last of Us 3 is probably the last one for him. To which I say, good. Please. As soon as you can. I wish you the best. Get the fuck out. Let people who have passion for games make them, who don't have agendas. Let people who are actually going to make meaningful games again. The games you have made since you took over the studio have been dog shit. No, really. They've been way worse than the games that came before. You ran The Last of Us into the ground. You made a TV series about a post-apocalypse that doesn't have zombies in it besides one episode. You're terrible. And there is a group of people who like what he does because of the way he goes about his stuff with his leftist agendas. So if you like that content, follow the guy as he moves on from games. But please just get the fuck out of games. Because I keep saying this, we don't need politics in our video games.
There it is. We have our center square ticked off.
Burger.
I was going to ask, is him saying leftist enough to tick it off, and then he just fucking outright just says politics. Yeah, there we go. We have our center square. Vindication from me. Vindication. I got the center square ticked off because Phil mentioned politics.
The whole point of a video game is that we're supposed to be able to escape all of the drama of our real lives, right? And have a good time together, enjoying a fantasy. I don't need to play a fantasy and say, oh, well, now it's all about politics. This group and this representation and this spin on this and this is misogynist and this is this and this is fuck you off, man. I hear it all day, every day, everywhere you go on the internet, on social media, everywhere you go in politics, you hear this constantly. I don't need to boot up my video game and hear the same shit from you because you can't fucking grow the fuck up and keep your shit out of your games. In fact, Last of Us 2 sold as well as it did because of it. If Last of Us 2 did not have those themes, it wouldn't have been Game of the Year. Sorry, that's just true. I don't care what anyone else says. That's the truth of it. The game was great on its own merits, but it was really that whole agenda that he had. Remember, if you buy Last of Us 2, a vote for Last of Us 2 for the Game Awards, that sticks it to the haters. That really gets those bigots, so do it.
That sounds very true. That sounds so familiar. Stick it to the haters. Why does that sound so familiar? Give me a second here. Let me just... I wasn't planning on fucking derailing myself, but stick it to the haters. It seems like a very familiar quote to me. So let me just go on pig go for a fucking second and search stick it to the haters. 16 different results. Phil said stick it to the haters 16 times apparently. Let's see, what's his first example? Let's rewind.
That people find it as a major source of positivity, that people are coming out in support of me and sticking it to the haters, and you know what I mean?
He said that in 2020, by the way. Years ago, apparently. But yeah, Phil's always been about sticking it to the haters and trying to encourage him to get support to stick it to the haters. Because this was mid-Vestrik. He was 154 in the Vestrik at the time. He was halfway through the Vestrik, essentially. So, yeah, well, I guess Phil was riding that money high. We're sticking it to the haters, hooray, because you guys are fucking liking what I'm doing. What about December? What about December? He probably said it fucking something in December. Multiple times, actually. I said it. Here, hold on. What was this here?
That's what I said in my tweet. That's not mobilizing my viewership to vote and stick it to the haters, which is what fucking Druckmann did. He didn't even say vote because the game's good. He said stick it to my haters because he was being an irresponsible asshole. Alright? That's not what my tweet said, so I don't need to delete my tweet. No one called me out for my tweet because there's nothing hypocritical about it. However, you are a dummy.
Jesus Christ, man. Random old gold dust here. Phil has a history of fucking trying to, you know, spin his fans into us versus them mentality by giving Phil money. You are fucking annoying the trolls and detractors. You're sticking it to the haters by giving Phil Burnell money. He always tries to mobilise his fucking dentheads in this kind of manner. Lately, the last year or so, he's tried to kind of steer away from that mentality. But it's undeniable for the last decade he has told his audience that, you know, it's us versus them, essentially. You know, Phil and his community are against the whole entire world, are out to get them and make fun of them.
I don't want that in games. I want games to sell and be popular, alright? Because they're good. Not because of a fucking feel-good movement from some political agenda that the guy can't sell his games otherwise, right? And if you don't believe me and you think I'm making it up, he publicly apologized for it. Take a look at the end of that year, during the Game Awards, when he was campaigning on social media for people to vote for the game to make a Game of the Year, and then he had to retract his statements and apologize for it because he realized how immoral it was when people called him out for it. So that's what I mean, like, I hate this guy. I'm sorry. He doesn't belong in game development. He's ruining game development and turning it political. I don't need politics in my fucking video games. What's sad about it is, Last of Us 2 was pretty much the most accessible video game of all time, right? It did a lot of things good. You might say, well, that's great for games. You're correct. However, because he made his game so political, how many people actually talk about that?
Don't you only talk about it because of Super Blind Man, who is a fucking strong supporter financially of your channel? Like, you wouldn't have fucking cared if Super Blind Man wasn't a part of it. Like, literally, if anyone else was fucking doing work for the game and for making it more accessible, would you care? When have we ever seen fucking Phil Burnell talk about how people fucking make games more accessible for the fucking disabled, maybe people without fucking limbs, you know what I mean? Like, they're missing their fucking hands or whatever, you know what I mean? Things like that. Phil doesn't care about that. So only ever through Super Blind Man. Anything that Super Blind Man's involved with, Phil will fucking turn into the world's biggest fucking supporter of like these accessible fucking games. Any other ways for games trying to be made accessible? Are people trying to fucking, you know, do these fucking crazy fucking creative things to make games as accessible as possible for people? If Super Blind Man's not involved, Phil Burnell will not give a shit about that. Because why would he?
Right? After Last of Us 2 released, what was the next thing that Neil Druckmann did? Re-release Last of Us 1 for full price. What was the next thing that he did? Re-release Last of Us 2. What was the next thing that he did? Well, he made the television series. What was the next thing that he did? Well, I'm going to make a full-fledged multiplayer game out of factions. Then he canceled it. What has he actually done? Nothing. He's sitting on his pile of political laurels, acting like because Last of Us 2 was made Game of the Year, that he's like God's gift to gaming. He's not. In fact, it's hilarious because in the interview, he says, man, I really liked the directing a lot. Like, he's basically saying he wants to be a director. Hollywood does not want Neil Druckmann at all. All right, after he did his Last of Us season, and of course, the critics said it was great because guess what? The critics are all leftist liberals and they love this guy. Well, he tried to go and the rounds. He went to all these events. What was it? I can't remember if it was like the Golden Globes or whatever. But he goes to this event, and he's thinking, I'm going to be the talk of the town. People are going to see me as the guy who transitions video games from games into theater or television or movies. Like, I'll be the guy. I'll be the transitioner. No one talks to this fucking guy. They all were like, who is this fucking guy? They don't know who he is. He looked like he's full of, he's posing for the cameras. No one wants a picture. No one interviewed him. No one cared. No one cares about Neil Druckmann except Neil Druckmann and his cult. That's it. I just find it hilarious, right? That this guy is so full of himself. You know, I just can't take game development. It's too hard now. It's not fun. I just want to direct. No one wants you to direct. In fact, I'll even say this. Do you know who everyone would love to direct something? Hideo Kojima. That's who people want to see make shows. That's who people want to see make movies, because the guy's games basically are shows and movies, and they're some of the most unique things you've ever seen. I would love to watch a Hideo Kojima television show or movie.
Burger.
I don't want to see Neil Druckmann do anymore. He sucks. So there you go.
So basically, what we are to Phil is the Neil Druckmann. Like, we can't stand Phil. Phil's a piece of shit. We're constantly fucking, you know, even though Phil's such a boring bastard, we're constantly fucking, you know, analysing the things, the dumb things he says on a fucking regular basis. And here's Phil saying, oh, nobody fucking likes Neil Druckmann, nobody cares about him, everyone hates him. Phil is basically a detractor for Neil Druckmann.
Oh. All right, I'm done. I'm not going to rant anymore about this fucking jackass. You already wasted enough of my time. All right, our final news story for today, sadly, is the worst. Okay? You ready?
Is this about EA letting go of several employees?
Ready? EA Games.
It is.
Is laying off 670 employees. What the fuck? We just had a news story a couple days ago. Sony laid off like 5% of their workforce, and now EA Games is doing the same. Here's what they had to say about it. We are sunsetting games and moving away from development of future licensed IPs that we do not believe will be successful in our changing industry. This greater focus will allow us to drive creativity, accelerate innovation, and double down on our biggest opportunities, including our owned IP, sports, and massive online communities. EA canceled the unannounced Star Wars FPS game that was in development by Respawn Entertainment that was supposed to be the Mandalorian game. Yes, if you can believe it. Ready? EA laid off the entirety of the Battlefield studio Ridgeline Games. This was the studio known for developing narrative experiences in Battlefield. The entire studio was laid off. Okay? And so, what they're saying in a nutshell, we don't want to take chances on anything good anymore. What we need to do is lean into the IPs that we know are moneymakers. So, more Madden, more FIFA, more microtransactions and games as a service, less good original games. That's.
I mean, Phil, surely you're not going to fucking complain about a company focusing on a fucking bottom line. You of all people that fucking says that you fucking have to play games that make you money, so you can't play the games you want to fucking play. You can't fucking play Tekken every fucking day because you know people don't fucking want it. You had to fucking drop fucking Sea of Stars because people weren't fucking supporting it enough. The amount of games that you've had to wage quit because it wasn't getting the support you wanted, and you're going to complain about EA doing the exact same thing and try to prioritise the, you know, what's best for their business interests? Phil, come on now. Look, I'm not a fan of EA, I'm not a fan of fucking microtransactions, but it's natural for a fucking business, a company, to prioritise what makes them the most fucking money. That's how fucking companies stay fucking, you know, in business, by prioritising the money-making side of things.
Literally what they're saying with their public statement. Okay? Now you might say, I don't understand. What is going on with gaming? Why is Sony laying off so many people? Why is EA laying off so many people? Why did Microsoft just lay off so many people? None of this seems to make any sense, okay? Isn't the games industry profitable? I thought that we're hearing record sales numbers for video games. I thought that games were actually making profits. In general, you're right. Not every game, and I think that is one of the major changes here, is that unlike previously, where it seemed like if you worked for a AAA studio, no matter what game you made was going to sell, right? That's not the case anymore. Just look at what just happened with Suicide Squad, right? So things are changing, and more indie studios are getting all kinds of attention now, and their games, for example, like I just said, Pal World, Helldivers 2, these are games that now are selling so well. That's a good thing. You want to have that competition, and you want the AAA guys on their toes, not thinking that everything they do will always be a slam dunk, okay? However, basically, here's what people are saying, 'cause there's all these different analyses on this, okay? And everyone seems to be having different takes on it, all right? For example, let me just give you some perspective here. This is actually from Zubitech, a very poignant tweet, I feel, okay? The Last of Us Part 2 cost over $220 million to make. Horizon Forbidden West cost...
So hold on. That's $4 million so far.
Over $212 million to make.
That's $5 million so far.
God of War Ragnarok cost over $200 million to make.
Phil has said million 6 times. I'm a man of my word. We've got a free space because Phil kept saying fucking million. Did Phil say tweet? If Phil said tweet, that counts as Twitter or X. So if Phil did say tweet, then yeah.
Burger.
I'll take that. Also, as I said, I'm a man of my word because, yeah, Phil just kept saying million over and over and over again. So, Million, yeah, they said million 6 times, so that's 6 million. That's an interesting number.
Jesus!
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, 6 million. 6 million. That's a pretty interesting number, isn't it? 6 million. Well, guess what? You're wrong. It didn't happen. You're making it up, right? You make that shit up. No, how about this? Banned. Gone forever. Because I don't put up with your fucking bullshit.
Now that was good. Now that was a fucking good one.
The bar's being raised.
I cannot help myself. It's always going to be fucking funny. Every time if it fails, it is always going to be funny. So there we go. We have a random free space because Phil said million 6 goddamn times at least in one goddamn stream. We are 5 snorts away from a second free space. We're 3 burps away from a free space as well. And remember, 100 likes on this bingo stream before Phil starts recording for gameplay for YouTube. We'll give it a free space as well.
Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Excuse me. Cost over $300 million.
We're not counting anymore. You've had your free space, you've had your fucking clip. So yeah, Phil can say it as many more times as he wants. We're just going to kick on.
To make. Okay? So, each game is costing more and more and more and more to develop. Revenues are increasing, meaning these games are selling. For example, Marvel Spider-Man sold enough to turn a profit within like a week, right? However, what is the actual return on investment, right? Overall, how much money are they really making in the long run, right? It's a good question. It very well could be that back in the day, you know, we're talking the era of the PS2, right? The biggest console of all time. At least it was at one point. Who knows if a fucking shitty Nintendo console all sold it by now. But you see the point I'm making. Back then, development costs for these games were nowhere near this. But then they would sell a ton. And these companies would make insane profits on them. Now, if you have an insane budget, right? And this game takes so long to make, and it comes out, even if it sells well, it still might not make that return on investment as the old days. And so now you've got to rely on having a library of games coming out. But how do you do that? More employees, more studios, more overhead costs. So the industry is pushing for these giant experiences. Every video game needs to be 40 to 80 hours long. Every video game needs an open world with all of this content. It needs to have all, it's like a checklist of expectations. Whenever the era of PS4 and Xbox One, every game could now be open world because these consoles can handle it. But the question really was, or it is now, what's profitable for these companies, and does this game experience now warrant the amount of money that they're putting into it, right? Take a look at a game like Horizon Forbidden West, okay? Imagine if Horizon Forbidden West only cost $100 million to make, and instead of having 60 plus hours of content, it only had 20. But those 20 hours were streamlined, super fun, very well done, and it didn't have all of that extra open world bloated content that most people don't even do. Would it have been a bad game? Would it have sold better or worse? It probably, I'll be honest with you, I think it would have sold the same. I think it would have actually sold just as much as the game did now, and they would have had a bigger return on investment. I'm just saying, maybe what's happening is that these games are too overbloated. You're spending so much money to develop them, and you're hiring so many people, and you got so much work being done, that by the time the game comes out, it's great that it has all these features, but how many people are realistically really enjoying all of them? And how many people are going to spend a ton of money on that experience?
Anybody care what this guy thinks?
No! People will buy the game once they're done with it. They're not doing any microtransactions. You know what I'm saying? So, a game like Madden, minimal effort, and then makes the same money every year. A game like God of War Ragnarok, it's a one-time buy. You're not going to spend any more money on that one, so you have to rely on it selling a ton. But has all that budget of $200 million, will it turn a profit, right? This is a pretty an interesting thing you have to think about when you think about game development in the modern day. Now, there's all these different takes on it, okay? So, here's the thing. You would think from all of these game studios laying people off. I mean, we just had, what, 900 some employees at Sony, over 1,000 plus employees at Microsoft, now 600 some employees at EA. And by the way, just think about that. That's 2,000 plus people in the games industry who have to find another job at another game company. Where else are they going to work, right? But if the games industry is downscaling right now, where are they going to work? Because imagine if you worked at Microsoft, that's okay, I can get a job at Sony. Oops, Sony just laid off people. That's all right, I'll go work at EA. Oops, EA just laid off people. Where are you going to work, right? It's pretty challenging right now for someone in that industry. But here's something that a lot of people got to realize. These companies are making profit. These companies are not destitute. These companies are not without, money at all. In fact, it's quite the opposite. If you actually take a look at numbers, supposedly most of these companies are doing quite well. So then why are they downscaling? Because this is how American business works. It's scary to think, but this is how it works. Now, I say American, Sony did it too, and Sony's a Japanese company. But the point I'm making here is that they really feel like if they need to be more profitable, it's better to actually sacrifice employees' livelihoods, all right, to save money or make more money. It actually results as profit, more profit on a spreadsheet when they lay these people off. If you can believe it, that's how it works. They think that's a better option than actually having to make better products. I really wish that that wasn't how it is, but this is how it happens all the time, okay? Where basically, again, as I've already said, you're a number on a spreadsheet. You're a cog in a machine. And if it comes to the bottom line, like, we got to make profit. We got to make maximum profits for our shareholders, so that way the price of the stock goes up, the company's valuation goes up, and then we make more money, and then we make more money, and then we make more money. That's what these companies are really in effect doing, okay? They don't care what games they're making anymore. The people who are running these companies have become corporate bigwigs. These people on the boards of directors of these companies are not game makers. They don't play the fucking games. They don't care about what games they're making. They care about the money on the spreadsheet and how much money is in their pockets and how much money goes to the shareholders, how much more money can be made. And to some extent, I get that. Yes, it's a corporation. It has to basically make money. But at the same time, you are artistic. You have a company that makes art. Not a product. Art. Any company that makes movies, television, music, theater, it's art. It's all optional entertainment. And it is, video games are the most profitable industry on the planet right now. They make more money than everything combined. At what point do we realize sometimes it's not just about the money? But these people don't want to hear that. All they care about is the money. So when you hear that the games industry is laying off all these people, oh, they must be crashing, right? They're not. They're making more money than ever. They really are. It's just that they don't care about the employees. It used to be these studios cherished their employees because they knew that they needed those people to pump out the next game. Now they're all disposable. Hell, there's 2,000 people right now floating in limbo with no jobs who anyone thinks they can just scoop up whenever they need them to make the next hot game and then fucking fire them again when they're done. That's how they're seeing it. That's not how to operate an industry. That's predatory. Right? That's literally predatory to an industry. And this is just going to destroy the way that we see games be made. It's really going to screw stuff up for us. I'm really seeing, sadly, this isn't a game crash because there's no crash. The demand is higher than ever and so are the profits. But I could see the entire way games are made changing in the future, right? We don't even have set dev teams anymore. You just have headhunted contractors come and make a game and then they dip because they can't rely on these companies to give them a career anymore because the people at the top are greedy. It's so obvious what's going on. But it's like, what do you do when you've created the entire business and industry to work like that? Because again, it's not just the games industry. It's so many different corporations are like this where they just don't care. There's no morality to their decisions. A corporation feels like it doesn't have to have morality because it's not a person, it's a business. Bullshit. Businesses are run by people. At some point, there has to be some kind of a morality code, a code of conduct. We say we're not just going to dispose of people in the fucking street when we don't need them anymore because we wanted to increase our valuation on a spreadsheet because we wanted to make more money. That's ridiculous, right? I don't know, man. To me, it sure sounds pretty evil, right? And here's the other problem with this, okay? When this is happening to the entire industry, this is not one company, this is not two companies, this is basically the whole industry this is happening to, correct?
The fuck's he going? He just got up, ran away, and fucked off.
So when this is happening to the entirety of the industry at once, here's what happens. People who normally would have said, oh, I want to get into that industry, and I'm a creative person, and I feel like I could really make great games, says, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, I got a family, I got to provide for them. There's no stability in game development. At any moment, these companies could just dump me, and now I have no job, and I can't do that. I gotta find something more stable for me and my family, so they don't go into game development. They do something else with their lives, right? So what ends up happening is the most talented people don't want to get into the industry anymore. And now, game quality dips, and now games just become a commodity. Something you buy for a meaningless few hours of pleasure, and then the only way you can get more pleasure out of it is to dump more money into it with a microtransaction, right? And we lose that era of the big game blockbuster that's a meaningful game that's, resonates with you forever. Instead, it's just, it's just a fuck around experience. Here, I'm gonna play for a few hours to kill some time. Done. What did you play today? I don't even know. I don't know what I played. I just fucked around, I killed some time, right? That's what'll happen. The entire industry will just be fucking around instead of actually caring about big game experiences to have meaning. You won't have the big blockbusters with epic stories, groundbreaking gameplay and graphics. You'll just have the same game 7,000 times with a new skin slapped over it, with more microtransactions attached to it. That's the future of the games industry if we let this happen, and if we let these companies do whatever they want. For every single one of these fucking big CEOs of these game companies to act like they're some kind of a rock star celebrity when in reality they're just a money grubber, right? We just let this happen. So, and you might say, well, how do we fix this? With your wallets. Don't buy games from these companies who are doing this to their employees. Stop fucking buying EA microtransaction sports games. Just stop. Don't buy Madden, don't buy FIFA, don't spend money on fucking Ultimate Team. If you stop supporting the bad practices that allow them to act like this, they will stop the actions. But if you reward the bad actions, they will continue with them, right? The best way for Pokemon to improve is to stop buying every shitty Pokemon game on the Switch that runs like dirt. Just fucking stop buying them, right? Don't reward the bad behavior, and then they won't continue it. But our industry is so weird, we reward the bad behaviors. We buy the things that we say we don't want. We support the things that we say are harmful. The most profitable games ever are microtransaction-laden games like GTA Online and Fortnite. Yet we say that's not the experiences we want. We want these epic games with big stories and tons of meaningful content, but then we spend all our money on the junk. So what do you think they're going to keep making? Junk. What do you think?
Phil. GTA Online was a massive fucking juggernaut for Rockstar, but what did Rockstar do after GTA 5? Red Dead Redemption 2, which is probably one of the most beautifully crafted games that, out there. Like, maybe I'm still a bit biased because I'm currently playing Red Dead 2 again, and I'm still in. You can play that game 100 fucking times, and you can have 100 brand new fresh experiences in the game depending on how you fucking go about doing certain things. It's that kind of thing, you know. Some game, obviously, I know when you talk about fucking things like Madden and FIFA, it's not called FIFA anymore, but it's called like FC or something like. Yeah, but yeah, there are some games, Call of Duty's as well, not shit, we just fucking copy and paste the previous fucking year's formula and just slap it forward, yeah. Some games do apply some bad practices. Microtransactions are fucking quite scummy, you know. For sure, you know what I mean? Pay to win, buy your way fucking way. Also, Phil would know about fucking buying his way to fucking victory, playing WWE Champions and buying all his fucking loot boxes all goddamn time. He would know all about fucking microtransactions. He's the expert in fucking microtransactions. But some game companies like I mean, to give Rockstar a fucking due, Red Dead 2, unbelievable fucking game. Incredible fucking depth to that fucking game. It's beautiful as well. Like, just... I mean, simply put, if you can fucking just like go, you hop on a fucking horse that's not cat, and you're literally just like riding slowly through a random bit of fucking game, and like it's a beautiful fucking day, and like the fucking sun's, you know, coming through the trees in the fucking game, and it looks amazing. You don't even have to be doing anything to enjoy and appreciate the fucking game. Any game developer, big or small, can make these meaningful moments in these games. But Phil was just getting his little soapbox here and trying to fucking pretend, oh, big money, big evil gaming corporations bad, they're just greedy. To an extent, they're looking after a fucking bottom line, it's true. But they're not, that doesn't mean they're incapable of fucking not making amazing games.
Things gonna happen, they're gonna dump more employees, because they see them as disposable. This is what will happen, right? So yeah, that's all I have to say, is it's a symptom of an industry where directly the consumers are financing the bad behaviors and allowing these companies, enabling them to do these awful things to their employees.
And I guess in the same kind of sense, Phil's community is enabling him to continue to fucking blow his money into WWE Champions by continually giving them money.
We need to change that. We need to stop spending money on crap. Just stop entirely. No more excuses. Oh, but every time I boot up GTA Online, it's such an awesome social experience. Fucking turn the game off and go out with your friends and spend money at a real business. Alright?
Did you just fucking talk about fucking friends? Phil discussing friends?
Fuck you and your friends. Go to the bar, go to the restaurant, go hang out, go play sports, go fucking whatever. Turn off the fucking microtransaction game, where every moment you're paying them more money. Stop rewarding them for bad behaviors. Turn off the FIFA bullshit, the fucking Madden nonsense, and go support real people.
Oh my god, the sheer irony of Phil Burnell, of all people, talking about this. Where's my man TG Gamebox? Where is he? Where's the latest update in WWE Champions, eh? Where's the latest update? I don't think he's updated for a while. I don't think there's been anything to cover for WWE Champions. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a wee while. God, how long has it been? Fuck me, man. Hold on. There we go. February 24th, almost a week ago. Phil blew, you know, at least 500 bucks on this event. He just about made it to top 100. I don't think Phil's spending as much money as usual in WWE Champions, which is why there's a lack of updates. So yeah, I think Phil's getting withdrawal symptoms because maybe he's not spending as much as he would like to on WWE Champions. Hence this rant about microtransactions.
Spend real life time with your friends. Stop fucking around online, because this is why this is happening to the industry. Alright? Literally, the moment you spend money on junk, you're rewarding a CEO sitting in a boardroom who just cut 600 jobs because they said, we're gonna focus and lean into our big IPs with microtransactions in them. You did it. Stop. Or else this will just get worse. I don't know what else to say. You have to stop the fucking madness and stop the bad behavior.
Look who's fucking talking.
That's what I have to say about that. And if you disagree, you're wrong. Alright. Let's get the shoutouts, because now we're running late on the show. So Troll did a couple super chats and I banned him because he's an idiot, so that was great. SD Chargers with a super chat. He says, Habit in my area has the best onion rings around. Yeah, like I said, my onion rings were pretty much inedible. I literally took my onion ring, and it was on my table, and I went like this, and it didn't break. It was so hard that it was like actually rocks. They like triple fucking fried the thing. I don't know.
That's not really saying much, Phil. You got fucking noodle arms that have no strength to them whatsoever.
Again, I get the feeling the people making the burgers were good. Like they're pros. They know what they're doing because they make more burgers than anything else. But they probably had a bunch of kids working the rest of the kitchen not knowing what the hell they were doing, and they ruined it. So there you go. Okay, so that's all we've got so far on the YouTube side. Again, guys, please today, if ever you were going to support the streams, today would be a great day to do it. The last day of February, and this would definitely, any support I get today will help make up for the issue with the memberships that we've been having for a month and a half. And I would really appreciate support if you can. So thank you. If I could get this to work, this thing's freezing up on me. Hold on. Okay, now it's working. Let's get the tips. Okay? We start off with a $2 tip. I think you're all right, Phil. You have a thicker skin and bigger balls than most keyboard warriors on the internet. I wish I could tip more, but I just can't afford that much. You bring a smile to my face, and I look forward to your videos. Keep being you. Much love from Australia.
Phil does not have thick skin. He has the thinnest skin possible. He's practically fucking transparent.
So that sounds like an anonymous $2 tip to start today. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. And I've always said this, and I'll just reiterate. Never, ever feel bad or apologize if you're contributing to my content, supporting it, and saying, oh, I'm sorry it wasn't more. That's absolutely ridiculous. The reason
Phil, you force your audience into feeling sorry for you, though. The constant guilt tripping. Why do you think they always fucking feel a need to apologise that it's not more? Like, has it never crossed your mind, Phil? Why you get so many of your fucking deadheads apologising to you for giving you a low tip? Because you're constantly fucking guilt tripping them that it's not more. You really need help. You're constantly telling them support's fucking slow. You're constantly reminding them that they're not giving enough money for you to be happy. Oh my god. Phil, stop pretending that you're fine with them not giving you much money, when you're clearly stating that you need money from them. I'm just going to play the whole thing.
Appreciate that. And I've always said this, and I'll just reiterate. Never, ever feel bad or apologize if you're contributing to my content, supporting it, and saying, oh, I'm sorry it wasn't more. That's absolutely ridiculous. The reason I'm here and still able to make a living doing this after 16 years of doing it is because of a person just saying, hey, here's a little bit of support I can give you, and it adds up. That's why. It's not just about one person coming by and going crazy with support. It's about everyone working together. It's a
bullshit, Phil. Bull to the fucking shit. There is one reason, and one reason only, why you're still somewhat fucking barely making it on YouTube these days. That is why.
Community feeling. That's really the reason why I'm still here. So thank you so much for that. I received another $2 tip. Another anonymous one. Just 2 in a row. 2 anonymous $2 tips. Okay. I wonder if that was the same person. I don't know. It might have been the same person twice. Okay. Let's see here.
I mean, Phil, you would know. It would come from the same email address. You have a way of knowing that on PayPal.
From Rocky, he tipped me $1. He says, this wig looks like the haircut from the Advent Children movie. I don't know, but it's supposed to be a cloud strife wig. It really doesn't look like one at all. But there it is. And again, if we hit the goal today, I'll put on that stupid wig. I don't know if I'll keep it on because I have no idea if it would even be comfortable. But I will definitely wear the wig for a bit. So thank you for that, Rocky. $1 tip here. And then I received another tip. Do you guys want to see the wig again? Because many of you weren't here for the beginning of the podcast because you forgot that it was early, right? You ready? This is the fan-donated wig that I got for today. For the premiere of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the incredibly accurate Cloud Strife wig. Doesn't that look exactly like Cloud's hairdo? Right? Like to a T. I've never seen a hairdo better than that. It's the most accurate representation of Cloud I think that's possible. Right? It looks like, I said, it looks like someone scalped Rod Stewart. Right? Very accurate. I don't think, hand sculpted to be exactly like Cloud's hairdo. Absolutely. Right. Anyway, I received a $1 tip from Epic Kirk Rebrushed. As a person with an obsessive cult following, I must defend Neil Druckmann. He wrote the Uncharted game series, which makes Indiana Jones look like a Bob Ross marathon.
Is that a Canadian Kirk soccer account? That came across as a Canadian Kirk soccer account, that one, that name.
Right. Anyway, I received a $1 tip from Epic Kirk Rebrushed. As a person with an obsessive cult following, I must defend Neil Druckmann. He wrote the Uncharted game series, which makes Indiana Jones look like a Bob Ross marathon. No, he did not. He did not write that series by himself. He wrote the Uncharted game series along with, what's her name, Amy Hennig, and someone else too. It was 3 or 4 people together who actually wrote Uncharted. Then he basically kicked them out of the company, and he now takes the full credit for it as if he did all the work, and he didn't. Like I said, in this interview, where Druckmann says, oh, I'm tired and I don't have any more big games in me. Man, those old games that when I made them, it was a party atmosphere. It's like, dude, you didn't make them. It wasn't you. It was you and like 3 other people, and they don't work for your company anymore because they hate you. But he reinvents history in his interviews. It's like, what are you talking?
Phil, you do the same kind of thing with Project 7. Like, you know, you fucking talk about Project 7, how you fucking done all this fucking shit. You didn't edit it. You had other people help you write it. And they fucking died a death because you didn't fucking pay the team that are editing the fucking thing any money to try and keep making it.
Talking about. Anyway, okay. Continuing on, I just hit my mouse. I received a $5 tip. Listen to this. It's an anonymous $5 tip. Someone dumped a mattress in my alley along with a bunch of trash. I can't wait to go outside and hit it with a baseball bat. It'll disappear just like in Like a Dragon. Of course. Everyone knows that's the proper way of waste disposal. Just beat things with bats. They'll go right away.
That's funny. They don't laugh.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Every tipper this morning besides Kirk was anonymous. So far, the $5 tip's the biggest one, so I'll put that up on the leaderboard.
Burger.
Okay. Continuing on.
1 minute, man.
I received a $2 tip
Balls.
from Lady Charisma. Support more indie devs. Send a message about what you want for gaming. Look at the devs that get popular online these days. Normally smaller games that are genuinely fun, but are made by a small team, or perhaps even one person. You know, I got to agree with you, although I hate to say it, it really is hard for me to get attention for indies on my streams. For whatever reason, I seem to have a viewer base that loves these big AAA mainstream advertised games, and whenever I try to, like, check out an indie or check out something that's not heavily promoted or advertised, it's like pulling teeth. It really is. But I agree with you that these indies...
So hold on, Phil. You're fucking telling your audience to fucking stop buying these fucking big, massive AAA titles, but you're gonna fucking keep playing your AAA titles, which will in turn encourage your audience to play them, because that's what gets you the most money. How about you set the example, Phil, and stop playing AAA titles? That way, it would help encourage your audience to also not pay attention to AAA titles and instead support the smaller indie games.
Indie games seem to be doing a lot better in some cases. I mean, notably, some of the games that I played most recently, like Hades, that game's superb. It's a great story, right? Amazing addictive gameplay, massive replayability. Superb game. I wish that I could play more indies, but again, sadly, people don't really check out the games that I play when I play indie games. Stray? That game was sick. That game looked great, played great. I want a sequel, it's so good. You know what I'm saying? Like, indie games definitely these days are more prominent, in my opinion, when it comes to, like, innovation, when it comes to giving the players what they're looking for in a creative experience, as opposed to this bloated $200 million open world with 60 hours of content, out of which 30, 40 hours is meaningless, right? For sure.
1 minute, man, next.
What was the other one? So yeah, Sea of Stars. I love Sea of Stars. I can't wait to get back to it later this year. It's another one. You know, it resonates with what people are looking for, right?
Where is 1 minute, man?
Shout out to Pizza Box Gaming, who just did a $5 super chat. Says, I have a different take. I think we as gamers benefit from these massive rounds of layoffs. The actual talented, passionate devs will make their own games. Well, here's the problem with that. I understand what you're saying. You're like, oh, that's fine. So now the devs will go off and do their own thing. Yeah, but you have to understand something. The standard line level devs that are getting laid off here are not rich. These are the people who do the grunt work. You know, for every shitty, stupid open world grind mission in one of these games, someone has to code that. Those are the people who just lost their jobs, you know? And it's not their fault. They just did what they were told. So now they're not needed anymore. And now they don't have money to go make their own studio. You know, you're talking if like a bigwig who was in charge of an entire game project, and that project sold tons, so they had like a ton of money, right, out of the sales of that game, then they can go off and make their own studio. But that's not the case for most of these devs. It's just not. They don't have all the money. Again, these are normal people like you and me. They have lives, they have jobs. They don't have insane amounts of money saved up to go open a studio. It'd be great if they did, but I don't foresee that. These are working class people. Fallen Angels. Thank you for becoming a member this morning. It says in chat, I work for a gaming company and I'm grunt level, so now this is very scary for me. I completely understand. I get it. You must be crapping bricks because the whole industry right now is downscaling, and it's not your fault. You work your ass off, I'm sure, right?
Where is 1 minute, man?
I've heard about this game Lethal Company, Lady Charisma. I don't know too much about it though, but I did hear about it. People are saying that it's good, but I just, as you know, I have been so inundated with all the games that I'm playing, right? I'm so backlogged on the games that I'm playing currently that I just don't have flexibility to be checking out a bunch of games like that. I would maybe like to eventually get to those games. But I'll be honest, you know, the whole Baldur's Gate 3 thing has really kept me, you know, locked with gameplay for the last 2.5 months. I think when Baldur's Gate 3 finishes, we're going to feel like a big sigh of relief and be like, freedom to do more things now, right? Seriously.
That's a great point, Brian. 1 minute, man, it might be too late for the bingo. Because it's an hour earlier, it's not coming at the usual time. So 1 minute, man's contribution might not come in until later. Oh no!
I see now a lot of people are showing up to stream, and I welcome you all. We're going to be starting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in a few. We're actually ending the podcast now. I'm going to take a brief break to use the restroom. We're going to be by noonish here. We will have the game rolling for you guys for around 3 hours of this premiere gameplay, okay? I just received a $25 tip from 1 minute man.
Burger.
5 in a row. That's concerning.
We got it after all.
Well, basically, 1 minute man just said 5,000 things about Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, like, so much information. He said like 10 statements about my last stream. It's all good information, by the way. But I don't think it's pertinent to today talking about Final Fantasy, nor is this stuff that I'm going to remember by, Wednesday when we play it again. What sucks is he's basically saying there was a puzzle, I guess. We were doing this mission, we were fighting these grease creatures, and we were looking for a skull, and he's basically saying the skull was right there and somehow I missed it. I don't even know how I missed it. I don't even know what he's talking about. It sucks. Like, I wanted to solve that quest and I didn't. So I wonder what happens now. I wonder if you can go back and do it. Anyway, thank you 1 minute, man. I mean, that's a million things about Baldur's Gate, and I appreciate that, and I read it and I understand it, and hopefully we can think about that stuff again when I play on Wednesday. Okay. All right, so do we have any last minute? Anyone have any last minute things to say, or shall we adjourn the show and then get ready for Final Fantasy VII? What do you guys think? Last question, last second. You want to tag me in the chat? Expand Dog says we should stop rewarding bad business practices, but you need to do your part 2. You bought the deluxe edition of Hogwarts. I don't even remember. Did I? I think I wanted to play it early. MK1 and Like a Dragon, which paywall new game plus, just my 2 cents. Hogwarts, I got it particularly to play it early because people wanted me to. They actually wanted me to play it as early as possible. That's the only reason I did that. Mortal Kombat, I mean, that was really dumb because you could play it early, but the game sucked, so that really was a mistake, and I don't think I should have done that. Like a Dragon, the reason I bought the deluxe edition is because I wanted as much content as possible so that I could play it with my wife for the Dondoko Island. And some of that has paid off, and some of it hasn't. I think it's really going to pay off the most when we do the Sujimon League stuff because I have so many items I'll be able to level up Sujimon immediately with no problem. No, but I have to actually agree with Expand Dong. It seems like most of the times when I've bought these... Boy, I just say Expand Dong. It rolls right off the tongue like a normal name now. Like, I just don't even... I'm not even fazed by his name anymore, which is pretty interesting. Anyway, so yeah, I think Expand Dong actually has a point where when you're buying these deluxe editions of games, unless there's definitively something in there that you know for sure you are going to make some kind of benefit from or profit on, then you probably shouldn't waste time on it, right? And I do think that with Like a Dragon, I mean, I did get the additional jobs, which have been fun, you know, the linebacker and the tennis player, but outside of that, I really haven't used anything from the extra money I spent, so, you know, I guess he's right. I guess he has a point, right? I'm not above looking at myself in the mirror with this stuff as well, so maybe I should just buy standard editions of games. Okay. All right, guys, we got to get out of here because we got to start with the game, like I said. So thank you all. A great podcast today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I thank you for chilling with me. It's time to end the show. I forgot to take out the winter. I want to put in a new piece of artwork here.
Was that a burp? Hold on.
For chilling with me. It's time to end the show. I forgot to take out the winter. I want to put in a new...
No, it paused, so I wasn't sure if it was a burp. We're one burp away from a free space, which is why I'm really listening out for it.
Piece of artwork here. I forgot to take out the winter artwork. I mean, technically today's still February. I'll see if I can remember to do that for tomorrow. Anyway, thank you all. Great podcast. Excited to jump into Final Fantasy VII all day today and then give you my opinions on it. So I thank you all for hanging out with me. And let's jump into 3+ hours and then another 2+ hours tonight. And I can't wait to give you that day 1 impressions, man. All right, thank you guys. See you tomorrow for all of that. Okay, let's get set up. I do have to use the bathroom before we start. It makes sense so that way I don't have to take a break after. And just for full transparency, yes, I have to stop the stream by like 3:15, 3:30ish today. I can't go till our usual time, which is why I started the stream early. But I'll be back tonight for the regular time, and a full late night stream. And then moving forward for the rest of the week, everything should be normal time, no problem. Okay. Okay, so we're good here. And all right, so here's the deal. I gotta use the bathroom, so I'm gonna go do that. I could either just have you guys sitting here staring at this dashboard, or I could play the music while I'm gone. What would you guys prefer? Music for a few minutes while I use the bathroom, or just staring at the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth dashboard?
I think to pick dashboard.
I can't play Final Fantasy VII music. It's either my music or the dashboard. No music? All right, I'll just leave it at this. So everyone chill for a few minutes, get hype. I'll be back in a moment with the premiere Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, guys. We have hit 100 likes, so thank you very much, guys, for liking the stream. That's a free space for the bingo card, of course. And as well as a free space, you guys also get to enjoy the Bubbles animation. That Pixar animations are very kindly made for us all to enjoy. Remember, keep an eye on the bottom right for Jasper to do his thing. Good cat. There we go. So that's our second, actually it's our third free space of the game. We have a free space. We have 3 free spaces so far. One for Phil saying million 6 times, one for him burping 10 times, and also one because you guys liked the stream as well, 100 likes, which has given us our third free space of the game. We are technically only 2 away from a full house, but Phil's going to start recording, you know, when he gets back, obviously. So let's just fast forward until Phil returns, and let's see if we can... Also, we're 3 snorts away from a free space as well. Plus, there's a couple of things on here, like, Phil hasn't touched his ear somehow. He always seems to fucking dig into his ear and touch his ear. He hasn't done it once so far. I'll just fast forward until he gets back. Where is he? Where is this fucking Phil? We have to speed up just so we can catch up to him. So he comes back around about here. Yeah, let's just kind of catch him waddling into frame. There we go. And then he closes the door, so Cat's in. So Cat's home today, playing a game, I guess.
Okay, guys, ready to start?
Mess with your ear, Phil.
Now, I have no idea whatsoever where to put the camera. I have no idea whatsoever what volume to use for this game. We haven't booted it at all yet, so we got a test here. I guess what I'll do, for the more natural, I'll probably put myself in the upper right-hand corner and see if this works naturally or not. Hopefully it does. But if I have to move it, I have to move it. I think in Remake, wasn't all the information at the bottom of the screen? I feel like it was. Like all the the energy bars and everything. I think they were at the bottom of the screen. Can't remember, but I think so. Alright, ready to start? Again, guys, remember, today, if you can support my streams, please do. That would help me a ton right now, because month end, last day of the month to help out with all the nonsense that's been happening the last month and a half, and anything today helps a ton. And if we do hit the goal today, The Cloud Strife wig. So there you go. All right, let's begin. Hello, everyone.
He is now recording for YouTube. We were one snort away from another free space, but it still would have been short anyway. We had 3 free spaces as it was, so we were 2 away from the full house. As I said, even if he snorted as well, like one more time, we would have been like 1 away, so it wouldn't have really mattered much. Sadly, there's no full house today.
Burger.
5 in a row. That's concerning.
So there we go. Yeah, Phil has still not explained why he's done the stream early today. We don't know what's going on with that. But all we do know is that Phil is now playing this game, and I guess we can go to live DSP and see how he's doing. He started the day on $38. We started recording at $38. He has gained $2 since then. He is still $110 away from wearing a dumb wig that he criticised his fan for getting him. So there we go. Jesus Christ. So then that's ended the fucking bingo, I guess, in that regard. But we're going to come back to this. Does anybody want to watch Phil make some food poorly for another like 8 minutes or so? This is like poorly cooking with a king. I was going to live redirect everyone to that being said, but I think we're a bit early. I was determined to try and finish by like 5:30, and we've got like a few minutes to kill. So how about we just watch Phil poorly preparing food to get his to get people kind of geared up into enjoying whatever detractor content they want to enjoy today. And let's go 1.5. Let's have this in 1.5 speed.
Hurry, I'm a gamer. So I spray my pans with this Pam. I use the natural shit, the organic canola oil. You can use the other stuff, doesn't really matter. But, alright, spray that shit, get the cap back on, get that shit out of the way. First thing you want to do when you're multitasking, as your pans are heating up, alright, cool. Your toaster's plugged in, let's get these bread toasting. Blah, blah. Get the toast. It's toasting. Alright, you gotta wait for it to, you don't want to throw stuff on a cold pan. You want to wait for it to be at least warm, lukewarm. I'm warming it up right now. This is starting to feel pretty good, but honestly, the other day I fried some bacon. I threw it on there too early and it took a long ass time to cook. Oh yeah, when you're frying bacon, the key, put it on a plate, double coat it with paper towels. As soon as you slam the bacon down on there, when it's done, it's gonna have a shitload of grease on it. You want it to absorb the grease. You don't want that grease to be all over the fucking place. The tools of the trade. You need these guys, tongs, to be flipping your bacon. You need to grab it from the end and flip it over when it's ready. Obviously, you need a spatula to be able to flip your eggs. Duh. Don't be an asshole. Don't try to flip your eggs with things that aren't a spatula, like a spoon. I've seen people try it with a fork. It doesn't work. You look stupid. Alright. So it's starting to warm up now. I think we're going to put the bacon down. Obviously, depending on what kind of bacon you have, different cooking times apply. This looks like a particularly fatty batch of bacon, which I'm kind of pissed off about because I didn't know that. Oh my god, the bacon's not even coming apart. Ugh. Ugh. That is really fatty bacon. Holy shit. Not too happy about that. Actually, because I just had a batch of center cut bacon. Center cut almost has no fat on it whatsoever. And this is the complete opposite. This is super fatty bacon right now. Ugh. I'm making 3 sandwiches, which means I probably want 2 to 3 pieces of bacon per sandwich. Being that this bacon is gigantic, I'll probably only try to do 2 pieces of bacon per sandwich, so 6. That's the biggest pan I have, which is why I'm putting the bacon in it. This is long bacon. I'm going to need the maximum cooking space. Now I'm really pissed because 2 pieces of bacon just stuck together, and that's like the death wish. You can never get 2 pieces of bacon to separate with one fucking hand. Urgh. Come on, you son of a bitch. I'll wiggle the shit out of that. Come on. I'm probably going to have to put the camera. Oh, wait, I almost got it. I got it. Good shit. So it's going to be cooked bacon. It's just not going to be pretty bacon because of what's going on. The bacon is sticking together. There's one here. Blow. You put it into position in the pan so that obviously the bacon just barely touches on the edges. Remove this one a little bit with a tong so I don't burn my fucking hands off. I have room now for one more piece. Alright. Our bacon is sizzling, which is good. So our raw bacon will get the fuck out of the way. How do you store raw bacon? You put it in a freezer bag and you put it back in your goddamn freezer. Don't try to refrigerate it because it will go bad unless you're going to cook it the next day. First batch of bread is good. Pop in the next batch, toast it. Now the toughest part is cracking the egg because I suck at cracking eggs, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to put the camera down for a second and throw the eggs into the frying pan here because I'm going to make a fucking huge mess.
Look how shocked that socket is. Watching this dumbass fucking make food poorly.
This, I can guarantee that I will make a huge mess with these eggs if I don't do this. By now this pan is scorching hot. Yep, I fucked up already. Bam. Come on. 2 eggs in the pan. 3rd egg is going now. How do you crack an egg? Easiest way to crack an egg. You slam it once against something. I slam it once against my stove. And it works. It's very effective. You slam it once, you slam it About, you do it gently, and you give it enough force that you know it's gonna fucking crack. Here are my eggs, 3 eggs in the pan.
Jesus Christ. Should we just skip to what it looks like at the end? Hold on. Hold on, no, hold on. I think we need to watch this bit. Hold on a second. I think I saw something deplorable there.
Clogs all the time. Or the other thing that I see people do, which I'm going to do because unfortunately there's nothing else I could do with this. This is gonna go down the pooper. So yeah. This is gonna go right down the shitter, which is gonna be disgusting, but what can you do? As long as you know that you're not doing this, 10 times a day, it's not gonna clog up a pipe. Safest thing to do with bacon grease. Oh yeah! Hot fucking potatoes. Oh yeah, look at that shit in my trash. Oh, that looks delightful, doesn't it? Now, the other thing. A lot of people say, oh, I don't like frying because when I fry, oh, I can't clean the pan. Well, that's because you're an idiot. Whenever you're done with grease like this, you immediately put something in the pan to separate the grease from the pan.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Let's just see what it looks like at the end. Like I'm constructing the fucking thing.
Depends on what kind of bacon you're eating. This is hardwood smoked.
3 sandwiches.
It's actually pretty tasty. Damn, just that one little piece I grabbed. Once you get a big...
I literally can't afford stuff on Tuesday on my day off, and you're gonna laugh. Oh, that's funny. When you can't go and do something with your family on your day off, you're 1 day off for the week when you're working full-time 6 days a week. That's funny, right?
Damn it, I didn't realize I was mute. Sorry, I didn't realize I was on fucking mute. Sorry, guys. I'm going to leave it there. 3 fucking sandwiches. 3 fucking sandwiches. Bacon, egg, and cheese. American cheese. And uploaded the videos. I think he uploaded like 5 of them or something. Me uploaded these Purely Cookman King videos. And yeah, you want to check them out. By all means, go and check them out on Anne's channel. Link to this episode is on the chat right now. Jesus Christ, man. 3 of them. Greedy bastard. I am going to call an end to things there, guys. Thank you very much for joining me for some DSP Bingo antics. Sadly, we couldn't get a full house bingo, or not too far away. But sadly, it was not to be, it is what it is, and all that jazz. I will return tomorrow for some more bingo antics and all that goodness. So until then, guys, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Thursday, how you wish to spend it. I'm going to end how I always end by putting Notorious PIG contributions made by the supremely talented Pixar Animations. So guys, whatever you do, the rest of your Thursday, I do hope you all enjoy it. I will live redirect the stream to that being said, to our starting roughly about now. And as Bjorn says, yeah, tomorrow is pretty much a new bingo rules, which is where we are going to basically, have one big massive prize for the month. So starting from tomorrow onwards, we're basically going to just start counting up all the full houses for that month, from the first of the month to the end of the month. And however many full houses we get, one person or one charity could end up winning that one total amount. Basically it rolls over. So if we win tomorrow, for example, in bingo, then we're starting off with a $25 prize pool already in the prize fund. If we win bingo 6 times throughout the month of March, that means that by the end of March, somebody could win $150 with a little, thing to decide the winner at the very end of the month. But yeah, that's the way it goes. But anyway, I'm going to wrap things up there, guys. So hope you enjoy the rest of your Thursday, as I said. And yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow for some more bingo antics. But until then, have a good one. I'm out of here. Goodbye.
On September 14th, a pre-authorized payment of $16.51 from PayPal.
All right, Luna Mills has tipped me $1.30. It says, "I'm back. What's your favorite type of shower?" When you're showered in money, when you go outside, all of a sudden, greenbacks start falling from the sky, and you raise your face up. You're like, oh, you start dancing. You go, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. All right, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but thank you for the first tip of the day. Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, 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 yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Please contribute. and it's gone, just gone like that.